Hey, we're live. Whitney Young Football is on the air. We're joining you here for Media Day. I'm Barry Newman, joined by the Godfather, Tony McHale.
Barry, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Really excited to be out here for the defending Chicago Public League champion.
It's nice to say, or as we say in the EPL, the holders.
The holders.
We're going to be the holders.
We are the holders. So we're here. Coach Finger, Coach OD, and Coach Eddie Boucher are in the background. We're handing out some jerseys for the guys right now. And we're going to try to get through a little bit different setup for Media Day. In the past few years, we're going to –
You want to go? We got the new threads.
Yeah. Show off the new threads.
We got the new threads. We're going to go orange on top, white on the bottom. On the road, we're going white and white.
Clean.
It's very nice. They're taking their pictures in the white.
Look. Yep.
It's easy, Barry, for you to see numbers this year.
Yep. Easy for all of us to see numbers. Hopefully for you at home to see numbers as well. So, Coach Finger rolls in 7th year of the program. Last year, 12-2 record. This team, just amazing. I mean, I have some of the stats if I could find them, and I'll probably go through them with Coach Finger. But you had 3 1-point wins. You had a double overtime, 4 1-point wins, double overtime win in Amundsen. 5 shutouts total, 3 of those in the red division. So this was a team that graduated, I think, 11 seniors. So I started to say a little bit different this year for our Media Day setup, because if you've joined us for past Media Days, we've had the opportunity to hang out and talk to some of these guys for 5, 10, 15 minutes, depending on where we went to.
So today, how many we got this year?
We have 27 seniors. 27 seniors today. So we're going to try to get everybody in. We're going to try to roll through Coach Finger, Coach OD, and Coach Eddie Boucher as well to talk a little bit about the team, about the program, offensive, defense side, but then also hit a little bit of these kids so you get to know them. I mean, some of the names you'll know the Von Conrads and the Max Warners and the Joseph Grays of the world, but just like with 27 seniors, a lot of those kids that maybe you saw on special teams this year, they're going to have starting roles, and we're going to hear a lot about them throughout the course of the year.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, last year was such a dynamic year, and you look at it, and the statistics say there's no way you win 4 1-point games and a double overtime game where you had to block an extra point, score from the 2-yard line on 4th down, kick a 31-yard extra point, and then catch a tipped ball interception to get to the city finals. But it talks about the culture that Coach Fingers has built here. And you look at those kids that graduated last year, that class of 2025, they came in right after COVID, right? So they didn't even have school in the fall when they started. They had a good senior class to look up to, but their junior class was Alex Dale. The class of 2023 was Alex Dale. So they built this culture on their own with Coach Finger and Coach OD, and it's just Coach Eddie. And it's amazing to see what happened, because you talk about those 1-point games. In 2 of them, they were down 2 scores.
Yep.
Down 2 scores fast. That Kenwood playoff game, we fumbled. There was a fumble, strip 6 that went back. And then we got our own pick 6, and then probably my favorite play of the year is Miles Barsma from 3rd and 1. I didn't cuss on that one. 3rd and 1, 3rd and 1, or 3rd and 9 from your own 1, and you pick up 10.5 yards, and that obviously changed that game, and then the fumbled punt. But the kids responded, and a lot of the kids that were responsible for last year are back.
Yep.
You got Vaughn, you got Max, you got
Marcus
Woods.
Dylan Olszewski on the offensive line.
So you have a great base, and that's always the fear in high school, right? So we'll talk about this next year, but you graduate so many great players. What do you do? What's that culture build up to? And Coach Finger's just done a really good job since that class of 23 of making sure there's 15 or 20 kids that want to play and can play.
Yeah, very good. We talked a lot about that. We're going to try something here. I mean, we touched on some of those. Well, we're going to try to show the highlight video from
All right,
last year.
I'm going to dive out here for a second.
And we're gonna see. There's a highlight video that Tony put together from last year's season, and so it's always fun on the Media Day because we've got a foot in both worlds, right? We're still sort of living off of the 2024 season and everything that happened then, which was historic on so many different levels. from what the accomplishments were, but also, like Tony mentioned, I mean, just play after play after play. We played this video at the banquet last year. Big hit just because, again, so many contributions from so many different guys. So we're going to try to share it with you today. We've never been able to pull this off on Whitney Young Dolphin football, but to see if we can go back to one of the videos that we had in the past, let you relive a Let's see what my guy Dante Sterling can do. Sterling kicks a rocket that Duhan picks up at the 10, slips a little bit, but gets ahead of steam. Quinn to the outside, and that's going to go to the house. Quinn, Duhan, Akron, baby, no flags. Touchdown. Hand off to Gray. Gray getting north and south. Gray getting south. Gray getting south. Gray heading to the end zone. Touchdown. So Purnell at quarterback. Joseph Gray. Actually, I think Champion is checked in. Champion behind him. Champion trying to get north and south, and he does. And he's heading north. And Aaron Champion, if he can hang on, we're in a race to the end zone. Touchdown, Aaron Champion. Cole next to him, 3 receivers to his right, 1 to the top. Gets the high snap, wings it over, intercepted by BG3 in the house. So now you've got a decision to make here on 4th down, 4th and a long 4 at the 50-yard line.
See what Riverboat Dan is going to do here.
BG3, actually it's Kunle Alan Espinosa. There's a pitch to Duhan. Duhan trying to get up the middle. Mach 5, Mach 5.
Mach 5, go Quinn.
No flags, Mach 5 hitting the Jets to the house.
That's a kid from Akron.
That's Akron, baby.
The kid from Akron.
And Mayra, who's now out of the shotgun or the pony with Cole. Mayra's going to keep it. And Champion on the backside. Champion came around from that outside linebacker position.
Oh, Coach Finger.
Oh, Coach Finger running down for a timeout.
Running for a timeout.
Took out the referee. All right, huge play here. Third and goal. I think they lost a yard on that, so call it from the 4. Mayra at quarterback. Cole behind him. Dolphins looking to pull it up the middle. Cole met.
Nothing.
From the far right hash. Mayra is the holder as well. Dolphins with their punt block. Where is Malik Cash Amos? Where is the ghost of Cash Amos? Snap, hold is down, kick is up, and drills it. No good.
No
Wide
good.
left.
Woo!
Wide left. passes him. Two receivers, top and bottom. Minute 34 left. Conrad.
Duhan's
Williams
open.
on him. Duhan's wide open. Duhan catches it. Duhan to the end zone for a touchdown. Holy cow.
Get 5 the ball.
Holy cow. Spellers, Dale, Cepeda on the line. Good pressure from Spellers. There's Cepeda. Cepeda brings down it. Luke Jolich. He threw it right in the hands of Luke Jolich. Jolich down inside the 10-yard line. That was Spellers first, and that was Juan Buster Cepeda. I'll get it right this time, Buster. Also Warner on the run fill there, so second down. Zavala back, rolls, throws it deep.
Oh,
One-handed grab.
Oh, my goodness.
Have yourself a day, Miles Bardsma.
You just
Hand off to Jolich. Jolich looking for a spot, still on his feet, across the 50. Still going inside the 40. He's got a Warrior guy trying to get him down, and he's just spinning around to the 20-yard line. Awesome run by Jolich.
Oh, it's 100% wrong.
Half second. So
Here they come
again,
again.
there's Searcy coming off the corner. Conrad getting the ball out wide open. BG3 cut back, baby. Across the 20, still on his feet to the end zone. Touchdown. There.
Dolphins still running with 2 safeties, so they're daring Demaje Williams to run. They got everybody in the box.
Shannon, hand off that end. Nick, the Serbian, sledgehammer. Dale hammers down Shannon. Conrad waiting for the snap. Duhan in motion. Conrad looking to get one out quick to Bardsma. Bardsma on his feet.
First down.
First down for Miles Bardsma.
First down.
Big time pitch and catch from the junior combination. Adjective on how Jolich was tackled on that play.
All right, here you go. No
So-
punt return. Do you tell Salmon Bradley to kick it out of bounds?
So Searcy is a dangerous returner. He is lined up in Dolphin territory. They get a snap off.
Good.
Bradley hammers it. Searcy takes it, fumbles it, and the Dolphins are on top of it. The Dolphins recover the ball at the 43-yard line.
That should be the game. 1:54 left.
Searcy is a dynamic returner, tried to get up and field that ball, but came off his hip, and it was recovered. I think it might have been Ben Barrett. 4.5-star long snapper, fumble recoverer, Ben Barrett. The all-important extra point. Lining up for the kick, Adam Vusic. He hit one earlier, and they've been generally successful on their extra points. There's a snap, good hold.
Oh!
Blocked by Aaron Champion. Aaron Champion flew through the middle of that line, blocked the extra point. Center, but hobbling bad. Conrad, the quarterback. Warner to his left. Duhan in motion, handoff to Warner. Way too many Dolphins out there, but he got it. Warner got to the corner. But Amundsen has blocked a kick already in this game. So Ben Barrett, 4.5-star long snapper. Dr. Barrett going to try to deliver this to Dr. Conrad, to Dr. Bradley. We'll let you watch it here. Good snap, good hold, good kick. It is good. It is good. Solomon Bradley, ice water in your veins, baby. Hammer. Dolphins up 23-20. Vikings have 2 downs to get in the end zone or to kick a field goal to tie. We'll see what they want to do here. Again, they've been able to sprinkle in some passes a little bit. Jacob able to keep things alive with his legs. Jacob waiting for the snap. He keeps it himself. Ball is tipped in the air, and it's
Intercepted.
picked off by the Dolphins.
It's over.
Picked off by the Dolphins. BG3 got up there with the tip, and the ball came down. Intercepted by the Dolphins. Who ended up with the ball? I think it might have been Duhan. Duhan with the interception. BG3 Hammering it home. Oh my God, what a game. See if the Dolphins just run it. Looks like a
Pass.
pass to Duhan. And Joseph Gray wide open for the touchdown.
Let's go.
Solano in at right guard. Oshesky left guard. MJ Woods. Pericini, your outside guys. There's a nice block on the outside. Warner
One
with a
man to
cutback. Warner
Touchdown.
to the end zone. Touchdown, Dolphins. But he can hammer it, as we saw last week, hammering through a 35-yard extra point. There's Bartsma in motion. The give with blockers. Yolich.
Oh,
he's still up. He's still up. He's still up. He's not down. Touchdown.
He wasn't down.
They're referees kind of looking around, and I think
Let's
they're
go!
scoring a touchdown. Yolich
Oh my goodness, what a play!
got hit low, but
Wow, what a season. I mean, I know you got one more game, but this is the one you play for.
I mean, I remember Coach Finger's first game, my first game as a varsity starter. We played Kenwood right here on this field, and it did not go very well. So just seeing the progress that this group has made and the accomplishments they've been able to reach is just incredible.
77's going in the game.
all right, this is awesome.
There it is.
So there we go. Nick Dale plays in every single game, all state center. Nick hobbles out there
He's going to be a guard, though.
to deliver, to be part of this Chicago Public League Championship game. Clearly a huge part of this entire season. Conrad, the junior quarterback, takes the knee, gets the congratulations from Mach 5 Quinn Duhan, and there you go. Dolphins swarm on the field
Let's go.
with the victory. 24-8, Chicago Public League Championships. All right, and we're back. And now I'm joined by Jack Wildermuth.
Very so excited to be here for another season of Dolphin football.
Yeah, we are fired up, and so hopefully everybody at home enjoyed a look back at 2024. Again, historic year. Dolphins finished 12-2, win the city championship, win their first round state playoff game against Kenwood, and then advance all the way to a very, very chilly prep bowl. So first time in school history doing all of that. So exciting times. We'll, I'm sure, touch a little bit on that with the coaches, but we're also looking forward to this year, right? And so if we maybe just talk a little bit about schedule before we get one of the coaches over here. So open up a little less than a week from today, down at Gately against Carver. So Carver, actually a state qualifier last year. They play in the white division of the Chicago Public League. They finished 6-3. So I did a little tally of the overall schedule.
Oh, that's great.
And
That's
I know
great.
that when the schedule came out, I'm going to go on record here of saying what you said to me, which is Dolphins will be favored in everything other than Morgan Park, and that one's even.
I think that's a pick 'em. I think favored in 8. And I do like we're on the road for the first two.
Yeah.
Maybe the theme for the first two games, Dolphins take the south side.
Oh, yeah, I like it. I was just watching this volleyball that almost knocked over our camera. There's a volleyball camp going on next door. But, yeah, I mean, definitely opening at Gately and then going a little farther south to Perspectives, who we've seen in the past. Perspectives, both Carver and Perspectives at the white division of the Chicago Public League, but good programs with both of those. So, Carver 6-3 last year, Perspectives 5-5. Both of those state qualifiers. Other state qualifiers, then we face off against Westinghouse. So that's homecoming, right? So that's the September 12th. We're still waiting to confirm a game time on that.
Homecoming. Right? Last year, when Chapel Roan song was playing, the entire structure of Rockney Stadium almost fell down. Maybe the students can actually do it.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, if so, maybe let's put ourselves in a different spot. I've also been thinking about that of, like, we need to safeguard our space. I know we get some comments from people when we get a little feisty with the Whitney Young students as they invade our spot in the stands. But
yeah, they come in the bleachers. They're so focused on their homecoming date and who's wearing what. Yeah, we need to have more of maybe a couple security guards.
Yep. So that Westinghouse in week 3, then Morgan Park. So that'll be fun. I mean, Morgan Park finished last year undefeated in the Red Division. We didn't face them, so we tied for the title in the Chicago Public League Red Division. And then Morgan Park advanced to the quarterfinals in, I think where they were in 5A last year. So they were in 5A, which is why we didn't face them in the city playoffs. If you're fans of Whitney Young, if you've been down this road with us, as we get into the season, we start explaining some of the nuances of the playoff schedule. But didn't face Morgan Park last year. We'll face them. The headline there is Nasir Rankin. So Nasir started his academic and athletic high school career here at Whitney Young. He was on both the football team and the basketball team. His last act as a Whitney Young Dolphin football player was a touchdown catch in the city championship game 2 years ago from Bennett Newman. In that game, Nasir went on, transferred to Morgan Park, and has since become a top 100 recruit in the nation. He is committed to Illinois. I think with all these guys, a commitment is wherever the NIL money might land. But Nasir is heading there and had a great season last year. That will be fun. It will be fun to play Morgan Park. I mean, Morgan Park, great program. They've been to the quarterfinals the last 3 straight years. Coach Chris James, really good. Their big question will be who they replace at quarterback. Marcus Thaxton was a guy that played quarterback for them last year. They had 3 different guys. Jameer Washington is up at Wisconsin. Javon Clark is at Illinois, and Pierre Jackson Jr., their receivers out of Washington State. So all D1 guys that graduated from last year. You never quite know with a team like that. You know that there are a bunch of other, Nasir's there, right? But they've got a bunch of other athletes. So that'll be a lot of fun. Haven't faced them in 2 years, so that'll be a good game. That's a home game for us. Then Lincoln Park, and haven't faced Lincoln Park since they've been back in the Red Division. So Lincoln Park faced off a few years ago, and then they had dropped down to the White Division, came back up to Red last year, and actually had a really good season. I mean, they took Kenwood down to the wire, basically. I think they lost to them 15-11 in the semifinals of the Chicago Public League playoffs. So good to face off against that program.
Well, that's always a fun game, Barry. As you know, a lot of these kids went to elementary school together, and to see that's at Lane Stadium, so up on the north side, a true Friday Night Lights kind of environment. Look forward to that.
Yeah, and then maybe that's a note, too. After these first 3 games we get through, then we're Friday Night Lights the rest of the regular season, which will be a lot of fun. First week of October, take on Phillips. Haven't seen Phillips for a bit. Phillips has traditionally been a great program. They struggled a little bit last year, but always a tough program. Then we face Clark. I think that will be a Clark home game, but probably at Rockne. which is friendly for us, although we'll be on the opposite side of the field. We may not be on the opposite side of the field, but our fans will be. Clark had a bunch of injuries last year. When we were talking to Coach Finger and Coach Eddie prior to the season, they just know that program, a lot of athletes, well coached. So 2-7 last year, but I remember they rolled into our place, and all the guys that I had scouted, they weren't around. They had really gotten beat up the week before. So that's one of those games that don't look beyond it. And we know we called a game 3 years ago that Clark got a narrow victory over us.
They beat us, yeah.
Yep. Then the last 2 games of the year, and this is again where you can say, and it's high school football, so and the strength of this Whitney Young program, we'll learn a lot more about our team. But then I think the last 2 teams on our schedule, really, really well coached programs, and programs that are deep. They've got a lot of talent and a lot of bodies. So Amundsen, who has been a state qualifier 6 of the last 7 years. So again, they moved up to Red 2 years. This will be their third year back in red. And they, of course, first game was one story last year, but that double overtime game,
Completely different game.
They brought it.
Yeah.
They graduated Elmer Jacob, their quarterback. They graduated Derek Weems, who was their do-everything guy on the line, who was playing a little tight end against us, and I'm sure he's playing at the next level somewhere. Reggie Mitchell is back. They're running back, and he'll probably be a force. He was a guy that played with Joseph Gray when they were growing up, and so it'll be fun in Week 8 to see Amundsen out at Rockne. And then final game of regular season game is against Taft on the 24th of October. And Taft, again, thinking about where the Whitney Young program has come to. I mean, we remember going up to Taft a few years ago, homecoming there. They had a bunch of, and they have a big program. So every year they're graduating, 20 guys, but they had a very strong, deep program and kind of took it to us. That was in your son Josh's
fall of
senior
21.
year.
That was
fall of 21. But
tough environment.
Since then, we've had their number, right? Well, yeah. No. In the year after that, we lost to them at Lane. But then the following year, 2 big wins, one in the regular season, one in the city playoffs, where the Anthony Hoods and Joseph Claytons just ran it down the throats of that team. Actually, I remember Nasir having a big game up at Taft as well. And then last year, we took it to him as well. That game is circled on their schedule right now, that they are, Coach Elder and the rest of the Taft Eagles are looking forward to that final regular season. I mean, and we shouldn't assume any of these things, right? I mean, again, it's like the way the playoff schedule works, and the red division and at the state level. I mean, you win 6 games and you feel really good about yourself, and then you're in. Anything below that, then it just becomes a little bit of math game. So we're not trying to get ahead of ourselves here, but I think we're very excited about this team, about this program, and then just the way the schedule plays out as well. I mean, you've got a couple white division opponents to start with. Westinghouse is going to give you a lot. But then that leads up to that Morgan Park game, and I really think we were talking. Tony McHale was feeling a little jilted on behalf of the program as the Sun-Times talked about their games of the year, and Whitney Young, Morgan Park, the 2 undefeated defending Red Division champions facing off in Week 4. Really felt like that should be the game of the year. Sun-Times. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of good games out there. Sometimes went for the Simeon-Morgan Park game, which, again, 2 traditional powers. Simeon finished just behind our 2 programs last year. So that's a big game, but our game, Week 4, will be a very big game as well. So we're the coaches right now are up. They're doing some of the photos of these players. Yeah, exactly. I'll give you some other stats before we get the coaches here. So I look back at last year, and in the red division, well, overall, Whitney Young outscored its opponents 23.4 points offense and only gave up 12.9 points. So definitely a strong defense. We'll talk to Coach O'Donnell. Thinking about some of the leaders off of that team, Luke Yolich was one of the leading tacklers. He's graduated. He's on to Wisconsin. On Wisconsin, we could sing that song right now. Joseph Gray is back. So Joseph Gray as a middle linebacker. He'll be joined in the middle with Rayton Scottmere. So I think Whitney Young, if you look back a few years, and I'm sure like Sam Wyatt would want to chime in here, then you go to Alex Dale, who is an all-state linebacker, Joseph Clayton at linebacker, Yolich played next to him, Yolich last year. So we got a little bit of a school like the linebacker U that's happening here at Whitney Young.
We do. What a great history, and I think Joseph Gray in that spot this year, who we just learned he took number 21. Yep. I think he could have had the choice of numbers, and he stayed consistent there.
Yep. And I think that's a little bit of the personality too that we see out of some of these guys. Where I think some of the guys were trying to hype him up and have 0 is a new number in the list this year, and I think a lot of guys wanted Joseph Gray, the football player. to take that number. He bypassed it. He went to his 21. We will reveal 0 later as we do the interviews, but I like where it landed. That'll be fun. I do think we have Coach OD. Coach OD.
Okay, well, I'll hand it over. Go Dolphins, Barry. Thanks for all that you do for the program.
Thank you. And don't wander far. I mean,
I'll be right here for the Dolphin.
Lob up some one-liners for
color
me.
Commentary. Coach OD, new Papa.
Yeah. Coach Connor O'Donnell.
How's it going, Barry?
It's going well. So yes, Jack said before we get into stuff, you're building a team at home.
I am, yeah.
Tell us more about that.
So we had a son who's about to be 5 months old. His name's Patrick. So definitely has given me a lot of perspective on, like you said, building a team. I feel like I've kind of been in the mentor, kind of profession in a little bit now, but it definitely hits different, being a new father.
All right, so is he doing squats? Is he bench pressing? Where are we on any of that?
Well, yesterday, I lined up 3 different balls in front of him, and he picked the football one, so we know.
All right.
So,
trained well.
Yeah.
Let's talk a bit about your defense. I was just rolling through some of the numbers. I mean, so the squad last year gave up less than 13 points a game overall, right? And a couple tough ones at the end of the year that really skewed that. Mm-hmm. If we look just at the red division opponents, under 10 points. Defense gave up 9.2 points, 5 shutouts total, 3 of those in red. Tell us a little bit about talk a little bit about scheme, but then also highlight some of the guys that, we talked about Joe Gray, talked about that linebacking group a little bit before with Jack, but give us your perspective both on scheme and then what you're expecting out of some of these guys this year.
Yeah, so a lot of the success we had last year was a lot about simple things like lining up in the correct spot, making sure we're reading our keys, doing our assignments correctly. And I know it's kind of cliche and coaches say that, but we truly believe, in our base defense and our 3-4 base defense, 2 high safeties. It gives a lot of flexibility to cover a lot of different positions and different schemes, countering the offense. So if we're in the right spot, I let the guys make plays. So the theme last year and still this year is players, not plays. I know I said this last year when we had this conversation, but your son a few years ago, in the best way, joked and said, hey, you can fit all your plays on index card, right? And that's correct. And, if that's the index card of plays, on the other side of a sheet of, hey, what's the offense doing? What are their tendencies? Where are their playmakers? What are their formations? What do they like to do in that? So, and so going to personnel, so last year, we would say a lot of leadership like Joe Gray, is coming back. So on the back end, I would say we had more of our experience and star players, and definitely in the scrimmage yesterday against Lane, I think it proved that our most experienced guys and some of our most explosive players are up front. So in front of Joe Gray, what's making his job easier is, John Spellers.
So John Spellers, yeah.
Yep. And he's going to be a little bit more in a 5 tech, right? He's kind of got that length where you see MJ, right? Those guys, we expect them to be anchors on the defensive front, and they definitely showed it yesterday. I think MJ had 6 plays or 8 plays on defense, so we know we're getting out of him for sure. In a traditional defense, MJ is like a prototypical 3 technique. So in our defense, we ask them to do different things, and those guys are definitely selfless, and that takes a lot of the defensive front. So with our more experience being up front with the D-line, we have a lot of depth too. Like Logan Jones yesterday, he pancaked a few guys on offense. He had a couple TFLs. Alex Oshevsky, Dylan Pericini, those guys, we actually have depth on the D-line this year, which hasn't been the case before.
Yeah, so that's a different look. And, John Spellers we'll talk a lot about. John was a guy who, when I look back, definitely I think he ranked 7th on the team in tackles. He was definitely a rotation guy, but his length and how he has just shot up, and he's getting a lot of attention at the college level. But you think about his body type and the speed he has next to really the size but also athleticism of an MJ Woods and a Dylan Pericini, Alex Oshevsky, Logan Jones, you're saying mixed in there. So you've got a great rotation to work through on that front D-line. Yeah,
totally. And a huge help, last year addition to the staff was, Coach Jordan, Coach Scott. But defensively, Coach Scott, playing collegiate level defensive line. I was a high school defensive lineman, 170 pounds, but he definitely brings a new element to the coaching staff, especially on the defense. He worked with John. I know John's, been doing a lot of things in the offseason, but I think back to the Lane game last year. I think he got a penalty for literally like throwing like an elbow into the pile, literally jumping on a pile like WWE style. And now like he's really learning the game of football, and a big credit to that is Coach Scott. And developing other guys. And so those guys are not just, before it was like, plugging up double teams. Now it's like, okay, these guys can make plays.
Yeah.
So scheme-wise, that was changed a little bit, and I kind of saw some success yesterday. We're going to bring the heat, right? Okay, we're going to bring pressure a little bit more than we did in years prior. We're going to try to get creative, right? But we still keep that mentality of, hey, we're going to, adapt what the offense is doing, but at the same time, we're going to set the pace.
Yeah.
And so we got those guys causing chaos. It can free up these outside linebackers. Like yesterday, Josiah Purnell was coming off the edge pretty well. So was Jacob Wildermuth. And then the other side, we have Logan Jones and Io. So, we got a lot of guys up front that can make some plays.
Yep. So those guys, you're just talk through your outside linebackers there and the depth there.
Yeah.
And then talk about Joe Gray, and then Rayton also in the middle. Talk about what he can bring to the team.
Yeah, so Rayton, he's one of those guys that had like some good experience last year. I called him like the spill guy. There's a lot of spill guys on this side of the ball where, hey, if you're just because you're the next guy in the depth chart, like you're pretty much in my eyes a varsity starter because you can get a lot of reps. And that was Rayton last year. So I'm really confident in him making plays this year. He's, short in stature, but he's tall in his play. Right, he plays fast, he plays physical. Him and Joe see the game very well, and so it's just a testament to the reps and their dedication to reading what the defense is doing.
All right, very good. And then talk about your corners. You're probably your most athletic guys on the field.
Yeah. So Max Warner usually is going to be in the boundary. Miles Barsma in the field. So those guys, especially in the boundary with Max, you can do a lot as defensive coordinator when you can trust that guy to lock up usually the X receiver. So with that, it kind of opens up what we can do on the field side. Those guys, they're communicating even well with their safeties. So with our defense, right, it's crucial that Max Warner is talking to, in this case right now, Sheldon, the safety in the boundary. And, Miles is already really close with his buddy Benetu Ross. So if they're talking to their buddies, their pairs, they understand how to pattern match some routes. There's not much a team can do to get through over the top of those four.
Yeah, and then mention those guys because a little bit of a different safety look. As far as just size, you got a Bennett Duras and a Sheldon Williams versus a Latham and Duhan, who were experienced guys, fast guys, but let's just admit they were a bit undersized.
Yeah, totally. You hit the nail on the head, and I think Bennett and Sheldon and then Brian's in the mix there too.
Yeah, Brian Pantoja.
But those guys have really bought into what those guys did last year, and they kind of understood from day one in summer camp this year that to play that position, you got to be the smartest guys on the field. You got to read the offense. You have to communicate. A lot of the success of our blitzes are going to be determined on them to communicate. Our rotations, who's covering who. So those guys really bought in. So Quinn, Coach Finger has a lot of the seniors. When they visit to practice, they'll say something at the end of practice, and not surprisingly, Quinn probably said, I think the smartest thing I've ever heard, a senior or a graduated Dolphin in this instance. And he said, you got to understand not only your spot in the defense, but the why, right? Why you're doing something because it affects the guys next to you. So when he says that, the guys listen, right? I think they already understood that, but so I think Bennett and Sheldon, they're asking questions. Heck, we're emailing, during school, so I know I have some colleagues, maybe they want them to do some math homework, but those guys are dedicated to learning the position and doing it well. Yeah, that's great. Quinn Duhan, he earned the Mach 5 nickname, but his original nickname was IBM Quinn. So just coming through with that knowledge is great. Coach, I know that you got to head out of here. You got some dad duties to go on. So thanks a lot for joining us, and we'll see you in a week. And good luck. Appreciate it. Go Dolphins. As always, thank you, Barry, and the crew. You bet. Thank you.
You want a drink of water or anything? I didn't mean to blow out your ears there.
Oh, yeah. Well, so is our volume okay?
We're clipping, so we should be okay.
Okay, all right.
But we'll figure it out.
All right, yeah, I'm doing okay.
I mean, thanks to Paul Conrad. He is a professional, does this for a living. So. Oh, did he give us some critiques? He gave us a low volume warning. So hopefully it's up. We'll check it and get it ready for next week. All right. So there's probably, I don't think you brought it up yet, but something only you and I care about by virtue of our second win over Kenwood last year. Have we talked about the playoff situation? No. All right, so
All I alluded to, and you're better at this than me. All I said was it's complicated, and we'll get to it later in the season.
So there you go. Yeah. So by virtue of our win over Kenwood, and the fact that we are a no boundary enrollment school, we lose our exemption. So now instead of playing 7A playoff football, which doesn't matter in the regular season, but instead of playing 7A playoff football, we play 8A playoff football. And we have the honor of moving up to 8A with that other school that plays football on the south side, Mount Carmel.
Mount Carmel, right.
So now, people are trembling in their boots, but 8A football is Loyola, Lincoln Way West, or Lincoln Way East, and Mount Carmel and us. I mean, there's your top 4 seeds right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are your top 4
so that's
seeds.
8A football. So we had an exemption from our boundary rules, so we just went with our straight enrollment. Now we have a multiplier. Now that multiplier puts us up with the big boys.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting overall at the state level because there are some other teams that are also moving up, which is we'll see what it means to all the different divisions. But teams like I think DePaul Prep is up, right?
2 classes.
Yeah, they go with they won at 4A.
They won at. They won at 2A, right?
I think this past year.
So they went 4A to 6A.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
So because they've had when they moved campuses from California to Roscoe, basically, their enrollment has jumped, and they've invested a lot into that program. Like last year, their quarterback that helped them to that state championship, Coach Millette, over at Hope, thought he had transferred from Hope to DePaul, so Coach Millette didn't have the year he thought he was going to have because his quarterback was now a Ram. So DePaul's moving up, Mount Carmel moves up. The interesting part about that is Loyola is the next team, the latest team to try and win 4 straight 8A championships. Never been done in the state of Illinois, but now they have to. Now they got Mount Carmel, which they play in the regular season, which. I think that's at a Loyola. I don't think we'll get a ticket for that one. Maybe we'll broadcast it and we can get in
absolutely.
for free. But you got, you have 3 of the state's dominant football teams, and NAS NAS is back up to 7A. So
yeah. I mean, I haven't looked through the entire thing. There are a couple schools out there breathing a sigh of relief. I think Batavia is one of them. I think they get to stay at 6A, and so they've advanced to deep into state many times. I think they have a state title somewhere in there, but that's a team that will. And in fairness, because it's this is more fair. Don't you think the alignment is a better setup, especially some of the teams that were a little lower and existing in the 4As and 5As, and that really
Morgan
should be
Park
up.
stays at 5A, so
they should benefit as well, right? They should benefit as well.
Be able. I mean, they went into the 3rd round last year, right?
Quarterfinals. Yep, quarters.
So it'll be interesting, and none of that, just the way everything's aligned, it doesn't matter. Our goal is still to win the city championship again, and then win our 2nd game maybe this year, and win 2 rounds in the playoffs. And then that would still let you get back into back into the city championship.
Well,
but who knows?
Who knows? And that's been good. I mean, and I do think. I mean, we're never going to say of course, state championship is always the idea.
That's always the goal.
But we have to be realistic on some of these things too. Of what programs exist out there, especially within the Catholic League, but a lot of these other the Lincoln Way East of the world. I mean, they've got Jonas Williams, who's committed to USC right now. He flipped from Oregon. But then they brought in a top receiver that transferred in. I mean, so they're getting kids, and not to say, I mean, they're doing it.
It's the rule. Doing it. There's not, Morgan Park got an offensive lineman from Rich just to add to the wealth of riches that they have. So there's lots of challenges. There's lots of great football programs. And, it's always the challenge wait until, the 4th week in October. You'll hear a whole lot about why the city gets so many kids, so many teams in the playoffs, and then they never win. Just look at the resources, right? I mean, look at the number of coaches that Loyola, Mount Carmel, Lincoln Way have. I mean, they have more coaches than we have players sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just a resource question. But you just have to keep getting better and better and better. I promise I won't go on a rant. If you change the rules So Indiana, and I apologize for people who've heard this rant before. Indiana, you automatically qualify for the playoffs. You automatically get that 10th game. In Illinois, you have to win 6, sometimes 5, to get into the playoffs. But what that does is it makes those first 2 games that we play must wins.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
So the way we get better is if everybody makes the playoffs, which would only add 1 more week to the season. But let us go play some suburban teams with those 2 games and play different level of competition and not have to win those 2 games to the last time we were at 5 wins was 2021. Different story. But yeah, change the rules. Everybody makes the playoffs. Only sport in Illinois where not every team makes the playoffs.
Yeah, agreed.
So, but that's how we get better. Play those first 2 games not to win, but to play better football competition.
Yep, agreed. I was trying to see. I saw Coach Finger here for a bit, but I'm not sure. Maybe we're going to ask Jack if he can grab one of the coaches so we keep moving along here. I'm looking right now at the 2024 All-Public League team, and this is a conversation that we had with Coach Finger and Coach Boucher when we met with them a week ago. And that is even within Chicago Public League, you talk about like the size. So we already talked about how Media Day is different this year. We got 27 seniors. Coach Eddie goes through at the end of every season and looks at the rosters of the other team and sees how many graduating seniors they've had. And I do think when we look at this year's Red Division schedule, it's almost impossible to really know what you're going to be seeing because a lot of those schools were senior dominated, and some of that's just like, hey, when you're 17 or 18 years old, you're physically at a level. You've been part of the program for a long time. But I went back through and I looked at the All Public League team last year, and if you look at seniors versus juniors on that, the juniors coming back, mentioned Reggie Mitchell from Amundsen, he'll be back, and Giovanni Thomas at Simeon. Claude Puma was at Phillips, but he transferred to Mount Carmel.
Right.
So, but then of course Nasir Rankin. So those are your juniors that are back.
Right. And the guy that was hurt, right, who will be the big impact player is Mikhail Blade at Simeon.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So he was hurt early last season, so he didn't have the opportunity to make this team. Mission commit, just a dog as a defensive end, just a great football player.
Yeah, he's a top 5, and so that's kind of interesting too. When you look at Chicago Public League, you got Rankin, you got Blade, so you got 2 of arguably the top 5 recruits in the state that are there. We got a shout out on the offensive side. We graduated Barry Gordon, BG3, who is a tight end, all city, and Nick Dale, who is all city, all state at center, defensive tackle as well. So it's tough to touch on all these guys. We've mentioned Quinn, Nick and Juan Cepeda. It'll be the big question with this offensive line. Now you bring back 3 starters on this year's team with Dylan Paracchini, Alex Oshesky, and MJ Woods. So you're bringing back 60% of the starters, which is good. Efren Solano, who got some reps in big-time games last year, so that's good. If you flip over the defensive side, only 1 returning junior that the name of the Chicago Public League, Diesel McFadden from Taft. So we've been facing off of him since he was a freshman.
Another Illinois commit.
Yep, Illinois commit there. So we'll shout out, talked about Luke Yolich. He was a first-teamer. Quinn Duhan, first-teamer. And then we haven't mentioned any of this stuff before, but the special teams. So Solomon Bradley was all-city kicker, punter. You mentioned the 30-yard extra point.
And when you win 4 games by 1 point, you got to have a kicker, and that's a huge bump in the public league where not all the teams have a kicker.
Yep.
And if you're forced to go for 2 every time, I mean, the odds on that are, what did the NFL say, like 52% or something, 53%. So it's a huge advantage to be able to put a point on the board every time you score.
Well, and so of course on that, if we want to talk special teams, you also have to give a shout out to 4.5-star center long snapper Ben Barrett.
Right, the doctors. We lost a lot of doctors.
Yeah, we lost 2 of our 3 doctors. They graduated. Ben Barrett heading down to Elon. Not only was Ben honorable mention all Chicago Public League, he was also all-state academic. So I'll give a shout out on that. Our second teamers on defense. defense were our guys that are back. That's Joseph Gray as a linebacker and Maxwell Warner at defensive back. Those guys were both all-state academic. Our other all-state academic, not surprising, Quinn, IBM Duhan, Nick Dale.
Wait, where'd he go?
Luke Yolich. He went to Notre Dame.
All right, my guy, Quinn.
Yep. So Duhan is at Notre Dame. Nick Dale is at Wash U, so Washington University in St. Louis. He's going to be playing football there. Yolich at Wisconsin. Ben Barrett down at Elon. Also, Juan Cepeda, just mentioned him briefly before.
Roosevelt.
He's playing at Roosevelt, where you have a bit of a connection.
I do. Young Pat McHale is the tight ends coach at Roosevelt. So we'll head out there and do a little tailgating and see what happens.
Yeah. So kind of cool.
Chicago's football team.
Talking about the Coach Finger coaching tree,
the first
right?
branch of
There's
the tree.
a first official player branch.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of these guys, I know a lot of the.
Well, they got to leave first before they can be on the tree. That's the only caveat, I think, is you got to go out.
Yep.
And flower and leaf
go out and
whatever
flower.
Trees do.
Yep. They
grow.
They leaf. They leaf.
Be a lot of leafing.
Yeah. And so then the other guys on the Chicago Public League honorable mention, Miles Bardsma. So big play Bardsma. We'll be able to talk to him in a little bit. He's been mentioned by Coach O'Donnell as a corner, but we saw, and if you were watching the highlight video prior to this, you saw some of his big time plays last year.
And I think we had a trade while you were talking to Coach OD because I saw Max wearing number 1.
Oh.
Even though Miles had number 1 on earlier, didn't he? Or did he have 2 on?
I'm trying to remember. We were watching it was kind of like a big thing of like as these guys come out, you want to see are they wearing the same number they had.
2.
So Miles had 2, but I think Max had grabbed. But
Max was wearing 1.
But wasn't he?
He was 6.
6. He was. So we thought maybe we had a Barry Gordon, Alex Dale tribute on that. So we'll see all of this. I mean, one of the we saw Von Conrad walking around in 5, and here we had developed a new nickname for him as 12 gauge, wearing 12 that Pat McHale and Bennett Newman had before that. But we'll have to find out from Vaughn if 5 there's an inspiration there, which I'm sure there is. It could be a little Quinn Duhan action
definitely
there.
Definitely not Max wearing 6. So we've had a trade. It's like we just need the ESPN music. Hit little bells. Ding, ding, ding. We have a trade. The pick is in, and we have a trade.
All right, so we will try to get, again, to all 27 of those seniors. We talked a bit about the schedule already, which I think is something that works out pretty well. Jack, are you back on? Okay. All right. Well, I mean, this is all. We're not going to be too. We're not too formal about our setup here.
Well, we can't be when there's.
So we're trying to get seniors. We're trying to get Coach Eddie. And
the 4 seniors that we know are all waiting for their quarterback.
So they're weighing in.
Pictures outside, then they'll be ready.
Okay. All right. So I needed to do more studying.
What do you want to talk about? The 16-team Red Conference that they've foisted upon us this year.
Yeah. Well, so we got the full conference. We got the change there is Hyde Park was relegated and King is elevated. So that'll be good for that program. Fun to see. We won't see them in a game this year. I think the other thing for our schedule, noteworthy, we don't face Kenwood. That's probably fine for both of these programs that they're playing.
3 times in 1 year.
And I thought about this 3 times out of the 14 games last year, but then the city championship, so it's 4 of the last 15 games were Kenwood games.
So what is that, 28%?
Yeah. So we might want to mention that. It's like we were 3-1 in those games. Pretty good.
No Lane Tech. For whatever reason, the schedule makers don't want to make that a rivalry. The rivalry is really Taft, which we get every year.
Every year, last game. Yep.
So I
think Taft and Westinghouse they put in as our rivalry games.
I mean, map-wise, Westinghouse is probably the closest school to us, right? I mean, they're just due west.
Yep.
And it's always a good game. Better when we play at Rockney because you have a little better sense of what the time left in the game is.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Westinghouse always has
scoreboard works.
power issues.
Yeah. And then and also Simeon not on the schedule. So Sinkyu Turner, who left Kenwood, went down to Simeon. definitely building some stuff with that program, which will be fun to see.
Right,
but
he's just
Simeon,
he's a great football coach.
Simeon and Kenwood not on the schedule, but plenty there. And we're joined to start with by Jacob Wildermuth. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Come on over here a little bit. Yeah, you're in frame there. So, senior. I mean, let's play it all the way back to freshman year. You were, I think I used to take you home. I used to drive you home, and you were just like this little kid in the back seat.
That's right.
How have things changed for you as a Whitney Young student and football player over your 4 years?
I've gotten a lot bigger since freshman year. I've gained maybe like 50 pounds, maybe like a foot of height. As a student, I've gotten a lot better grades recently, so that's great, of course. Yeah.
All right. So, and tell us about this year. You got definitely a lot of special teams action last year, and got some good game action in. And you're going to be in that rotation at outside linebacker this year, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
So what do you tell us a little bit about that? I mean, what's the progression of that? What you feel like you can bring to the team as a player?
Yeah, I feel like I can bring a lot as a rotational guy, outside linebacker, anything the coaches want from me. I'll probably be on most of the special teams too. Yeah. All
right. And so, and maybe just a final question. When you think back of Whitney Young, you've been part of the program all 4 years. Who are some of the guys that have been part of this program that have been helpful for you, that you've looked up to through the years?
Yeah, I would say the guy I looked up to most is probably Joseph Clayton. Played with him my first 2 years here. And a guy with me right now is probably Joseph Gray. He's been a great leader throughout my whole career.
Yeah, I was looking at some of the comments of that guys are making, and in some ways, I mean, both those guys brought on the field a little different personalities. Joseph Clayton a little more outgoing.
Yeah.
Joseph Gray just kind of doing the football player thing.
Right, of course.
Yeah, well, very good. Jacob, thanks a lot, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck. We'll see you out on the field.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll just roll back and forth.
We're starting the weigh-in process, which I think everybody put 10 pounds of weights in their football pants just to get a little bit heavier.
So the other thing, I'm going to be entirely transparent here. I'm going to make most of these guys introduce themselves, because while I know all the names on the roster, I recognize the names on the roster. Again, these are I'm a half a step away from this program. I'm not here every day. I don't have a kid as part of the program anymore. Bennett knew my son graduated. He'll be a sophomore at Indiana this year. Bennett, if you're watching, hey.
What's up,
peace.
Bennett? He's got football practice, isn't he?
Well, they had orientation yesterday. So Bennett Newman works in the recruiting department at Indiana. I mean, that could be another story. I mean, back to the hey, what are you doing with your schedule? I mean, Indiana at the college level is clearly doing something. They're saying we're going to take 3 wins.
Right.
We don't care.
We're going to grab them.
You can criticize us all you want.
All right, here we go.
Here's a guy that I'll be able to recognize a bit.
Oh, I got the headphones on now.
You got the head of Maxwell Warner, everybody. So Max Warner donning number 1.
Yeah.
And so we talked. Was there a trade? We saw you walk away with 6.
Yeah. It was a little trade. I had got 6 originally, but we worked it out. Down in the locker room, a little trade, and then 1, and then traded away for 6.
All right. So a lot of us, as part of the program, have been following this off season for you. Some people maybe don't know as much, but talk a little bit about what your last few months have all been about. Maxwell Warner, I mean, you had the stats, you had the film, and then that all turned into a lot of other stuff this offseason.
Yeah, so, putting it together all from last year, and then this offseason it's been a tornado a little bit. But, over the last couple months, kind of finalizing stuff, making a decision, taking official visit, unofficial visits. And, Missouri just ended up being the right place for me after the official visit, and then on the commitment day.
All right.
I knew it was,
so, Max, how many D1 offers did you end up with?
I had 14.
14 D1 offers. I know the final list came down to Boston College, Illinois, Missouri, but you're going to the SEC.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting stuff. All right, so that's a lot of stuff. Then you got to get back on the field here.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And And, I think so you're one of those guys that's going to be playing on both sides of the ball. Let's talk defense a little bit to start with. You walked in as a freshman, having never played tackle football before, right?
Yeah, never played.
3 out on the field at corner, I think maybe like week 1.
Week 2, yeah.
Week 2, you're out there, and all of a sudden making plays. So what's it feel like on the defensive side of the ball for you now that you've had 4 years of being out there?
Well, defense is always going to have my heart. Although I'm going to play running back in college, defense is where it all started. And, I can't wait to play corner this year. It's been a fun position for me. That's where I got second team All-City last year. Looking to get first team All-City this year, maybe even All-State.
Yeah, very good. And then running back. So so you've been getting carries all through your career here. Last year really shared the load with Luke Yolich, and we kind of called you guys Mr. Inside, Mr. Outside, Thunder, Lightning, all these kind of things. But quite frankly, you guys both could do it between the tackles. You could both do it outside.
Yeah.
And I have to say, it's still you're still watching that Amundsen game, and I don't know if you've heard the replay. I didn't think you had the corner. I thought it was over because there were like 5 guys out there, and I'm like, there are too many guys out there. Then all of a sudden you're in the end zone.
I watched it a million times. Yeah, I mean, just hearing your voice on that, it was. And then watching it back, I was like, dang. I didn't even think I was going to score on that. I was like, oh, shoot. I didn't even realize how far I was back, like during when the play was going on. I didn't realize I was back by the 10-yard line, and I still had to go to the end zone. That was
well, and I think that's something too. And again, we'll the difference, and that's what college recruiters saw as well. They saw that ability to get outside, to get to the corner. So that was awesome. Give me a little bit replay on track season as well, because you had a good track season.
Yeah. So. I'll break it down. So from the state track meet, we got 6th in the 4x2. So
and name your teammates on that, because they're notable, right?
Some football players. So it was Aiden Matlock on first leg, then Quinn Duhan on second leg, me on third leg, and then Aaron Champion on fourth leg.
Yeah.
And we ran a school record time.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah. We got 6 in that. And then over the summer at the national track meet in Savannah, Georgia, I got 5th in the 4x100 relay. Yeah, and my teammates it was Joaquin Lopez on first leg, Parrish Hartley, Armand Bulwer on second leg, me on third leg, and then Parrish Hartley on fourth leg. Some guys not from here, but.
Yeah, all right. So that's all good. I've got another question, that is, who works out harder, you or your mom?
Well, she would definitely say she works out harder. I definitely would say I work out harder. I would say she does different type of things. I think what I do is a lot harder than what she's doing. She posts a lot more than what I post too. So people see more of what she's doing, but like behind the scenes, I think I'm definitely doing a.
Well, I think if anybody needs a good follow on social media, Val Warner is a great follow. Entertaining, but then also motivating. I mean, there are times, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta go work out. Val is out there. She's grinding. She's at her morning workout. She got that already done. So real quickly to sum it up, what are you looking for this year for Whitney Young Dolphin football and for Maxwell Warner as part of that?
Well, I think the main objective this year is just to win. You can't really argue with winners. If we win, we're going to be good. So I want to win. I want to keep winning, in the state playoffs. And if we lose in the state playoffs, I want to go win the city championship again for the second time after not winning it before. Since last year, that was the first time we've ever won it in school history. So doing that 2 times in a row would be crazy. Yeah,
I agree. Your mom was also talking to me in the offseason about like a nickname, that you needed a nickname. And then I saw the Google sheet, and I saw that you have a nickname, Mad Max.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, man. You smile too much. You're not Mad Max. I mean, I can do that if you need me to.
Okay.
But
I think that's my nickname, or Mad Max. I'm not always this smiley when I'm on the field.
I got it. Okay. Yeah. So the guys that you're facing off against, this is not the personality that they see.
I gotta flip the switch when I get on the field.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna have to get down on the field because this is the only Max I've ever seen.
Yeah, it could be Mad Max, or you could do Maxi Poo.
Maxi Poo.
Yeah, that's the name I had growing up.
All right. Well, I'm fine with both of those. We'll try to work those in.
All right, cool.
Max, thanks a lot, man.
Thank you, Mr.
Looking forward to seeing you out there on the field this year, man.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Maxwell Warner joined us there, and we hit on a lot of the stuff. I said I won't be able to talk to each of these guys for that long because we've got 27 of them, but Maxwell Warner is a guy who, like he said, committed to go to Missouri. You're going to be a running back, D1 SEC level. So we've got a couple Division I players here at Whitney Young. We've got Cash Amos out at USC and Harrison Gassa at Illinois as a defensive end. So Max will be joining them. Also, is smattered in on some of these things. I know we're off on a lot of different tangents, so I apologize. Hang with us today. But if we talk at the recruiting level, the other guys that are getting some of those looks talked about John Spellers. So again, John Spellers is a kid who was a Whitney Young basketball player, and saw him come in a couple years ago and start showing some flashes on the defensive line, and he has the measurables. I mean, in many ways, with his height, with his length, with the speed that he has, that athleticism.
A quick intro. Ben Miller here from Lincoln Park. He was part of the freshman carpool with my son Jacob from day one as freshmen. So it's great to see this young man flourish and going to play some good time on the O-line this year.
Yeah. All right, Ben, get that headset on. And Ben, I was driving some of those carpools, and we talked to Jake a little earlier, and just sort of like, hey, how have things changed for you from a freshman to now being a senior?
I mean, I've put on like 50 pounds since then. I gained 30 pounds this off season.
Okay. And that's good. That's like you don't have like a beer belly or anything like that.
Yeah, not yet. But it's nice playing a lot more than obviously compared to freshman year.
Yeah, yep. And some of that we'll present. We were talking to the coaches a couple weeks ago, and you're going to get some reps on that offensive line.
Yeah, I was because Dylan was ineligible, so I was at right tackle the whole time.
Yeah. So that's good. That's getting that experience. You'll definitely get into games. So the other thing that I know about you, Ben Miller, is that let's talk about your ACT. It was sort of perfect.
Yeah.
So is that something? Give us your test prep on that. Give us some hints for other kids out there that want to get a perfect ACT score.
I took it as a sophomore just to see where I was at, and I studied those subjects that I needed. And I don't know. For me, the biggest thing, I had to slow down. I was taking it too quick, making too many mistakes, and I guess it just clicked that one day.
It all clicks. So what does that mean from a college perspective? Where are you in the process, and what are you thinking about doing?
Drafting the essays right now. I think I'm going to ED to Cornell.
Okay, ED to Cornell. Very good.
Yep.
I like it. Cool. So ED to Cornell, you got a backup plan?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to apply to a lot of the Big Ten schools. Michigan's probably my number 2.
Oh, that's right. You're
sure.
a Michigan family,
yeah.
Aren't you? I was going to try to steer you over to Northwestern, but maybe that's not working out. Okay, so Cornell 1, Michigan 2.
Yeah.
All right. Well, very good. We're going to look forward to seeing you a lot of 56 Ben Miller on the field this year.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Ben.
Thanks.
So that is always a pretty cool thing. We talk about the athletic side of things, but then you got a Ben Miller who gets a perfect score on the ACT and is part of this program as well. So pretty cool stuff. We got Jack Wildermuth is on senior patrol.
So I think we're gonna change we're going to edit on the fly because they're meandering out to the field to get their pictures taken.
Okay.
So I think we'll get Von Miles, who are coming in now, get MJ, and get the 2 coaches. I don't think we're getting all.
Okay, we don't want to go. We're not going to be able to go with a 5-hour mini series. We don't have Ken Burns here.
No,
we don't have Ken Burns.
I didn't bring you enough water. I didn't bring you enough water to get through the.
That's fine. That's good. You guys give me whatever you can, and I'll just make up stuff on the fly. We've got Alex Oshevsky here. starter on the offensive line. Come on over here. Don't look at that because there's a delay there,
Okay.
you know. So, Alex, senior on the line. We touched a little bit on, you got 3 guys back, you, MJ, and Dylan. But you graduate, Nick Dale, all-state guy at center, Juan Cepeda. Give us a little perspective on what those guys meant to the line, and then how you carry through and how you guys now own that line this year.
All right. I mean, they were 2 big leaders. Nick was a good center. He knew pretty much every position. Any question you had, you could just walk up to him and you would know. Juan Cepeda, he had that fire in him.
He had a little chip.
Yeah.
He had a little chip on his shoulder.
He was always fighting. He was always loud. He knew what he was talking about. We got 2 new guys? Yeah, 2 new guys we got. Logan and Efren, yeah.
Yeah.
Logan, he played really well yesterday during the scrimmage. He's got some fire in him. He's ready for the season. I want to see how he plays this year. I'm excited for him. Efren, he has some experience. He's doing good.
Yeah. And you got a position switch as well, right? So you were inside last year.
Yeah, I was a left guard. I still play left guard. I'm just like a second, third string. Me and MJ for center.
Yeah. And are you going to play some tackle this year?
I doubt it.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought maybe that's Coach Eddie was talking to me a few weeks ago, and they were thinking about that. So you're going to be on the inside.
I'm going to try though.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. All right, that's good. And then I think the other thing that's relevant is that I think your family gives us an international viewing base, right? Does it? I think your mom mentioned to me. Does your grandpa back in Poland tune into some of our broadcasts?
All the time. He always calls me. He's like, good job, kid. We're like in Polish. He's like, good job, kid. You did good. And he's always like trying to find the videos, and he's always calling me, asking like, oh, how do I find the video I want to watch? Oh, how to watch the last week's video? Things like that.
All right, that's cool. So maybe to sum it up, what are you looking for you both? I mean, I talk about being a senior, both on the football field and what you're doing in the classroom. What's senior year mean for you?
I mean, in the classroom, I gotta take it serious. My classes aren't too hard this year, but you don't want to set bad expectations for yourself. And on the line, I mean, I'm ready for what's to come. I got to keep trying, keep fighting. That's it.
All right, that sounds good. And can you give us in Polish, good job, kid?
Let's think. What's the best way to put it?
I put him on the spot here.
Yeah.
You can just say whatever because I'm not going to know. Just
Dobrze grałeś, Olo. That means you played well, Alex, but
okay, awesome.
It's like my nickname.
All right. So what is your nickname in Polish?
That's like Olek.
Olek? Oh, okay, got it. All right. Awesome. Well, cool, Alex, man. Thanks a lot for joining us. We're going to look forward to seeing you out on the field this year.
All right.
All right, cool.
Who's next?
All right, we got a couple of guys wandering in over here. We're going to take this guy first.
Wow.
Miles, big play, Bardsma. How's it going, man?
Oh, it's going pretty well. How are you?
I'm doing fine. So, you're a senior, man. That's kind of crazy. How did that happen?
I don't know. It really flies by. Every year the seniors are like, oh, it flies by. I'm like, they're lying. But, now being a senior, it really, I felt like I was a sophomore last year.
Yep.
Or I felt like I was a sophomore, last week.
Yep. Have you grown?
Like height?
Yeah, height. I mean, you've worked out this offseason, obviously.
I'm about 6 foot, 175 now.
Okay.
Just in there. I mean, I'm trying to gain weight a little bit more, but now it's hard, being in the season. But
all right. So Miles, honorable mention, all city at wide receiver. You're playing a lot of corner. Had a huge pick 6 last year against Kenwood, right? I'm right on that. Yeah. A big game overall on that. Of course, the catch against Westinghouse. That sort of put you on the map. I mean, we're making plays before that. How do you build off of that success into your senior season?
It's just my season last year really started after week 6 or 7, or it was pretty late. So I mean now going into week 1, I just want to set that expectation, have a good week every week. I'm never be satisfied, just keeping up, being consistent. It's all about consistency and just playing my best game.
All right, and you played a little boom football this summer, right?
I did.
Tell us about that. What's that all about?
It was pretty cool. It's definitely good competition. It's some of the best kids in the Midwest. The coaching's great. it's good to compete, and I definitely had a lot of fun.
Yep, very good. And I think that's a big part of the continuing success of a program. And I think you doing that stuff and some of the younger guys seeing that. I mean, you've played a lot of sports throughout your career. Are you still playing lax here? Are you still playing lacrosse?
No, I'm going full football.
Okay, all football.
Yeah.
But I mean, we talked a little bit about how I think some of those sports really help you. Really translate. But then the off season. I mean, the off season is huge. You can't just be sitting around gaming. You really got to be developing your game. And then you work a lot with Vaughn in the offseason as well,
sure.
correct?
We both got personal trainers for our position groups, and it's been great. I helped him catch with this quarterback stuff, and it's a lot of fun. I enjoy playing football so much. Like, I'm always down to practice or whatever.
All right, and then potentially, I mean, I know it's early senior year, but you've had some colleges talk to you as well. I mean, so is that something that you're going to potentially consider?
100%. I think I'm pretty set in stone that I'm going to be playing in college, and I mean, I have no clue where, but I just know I want to play and keep playing this game.
Yeah, you definitely popped on the screen. I know you did a lot of off-season camps, and I saw a 4.65. Let's get that down. Let's drop that below 4.6. Is that possible?
Yeah, definitely possible. Potentially 4.5 by the end of this year, hopefully.
Okay, yeah, keep working on that.
Yeah.
Miles Barsma, I'm going to stick with big play until I get another nickname. I'm fine. I'm open for things, but man, you turned in the big plays last year. You earned the nickname.
Thank you.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
Newman.
Yep. All right. We got Vaughn Conrad coming back. There we go. Vaughn Conrad walking over here, like sort of like he's beefy. He's like, you're all ripped up, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of work, man. I spent the last couple months just putting weight on, and I've been grinding it out, and that's kind of been my focus this offseason. I just got to become a better football player.
Well, so I have in my cheat sheet here, so you're coming in senior year, started all last year, 94 for 172 last year, completed 55% of your passes, 8 touchdowns, also did the work on the ground, 78 carries, 266 yards, 3 touchdowns, so 11 total touchdowns, and maybe the most important stat in games that you started, you're 12-1. I mean, that's how it comes down for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
What are you looking for this year as a senior quarterback? I also know that I think you were voted team captain right, earlier today.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
I'm just looking to move this program in the right direction. Build on what we have last year and kind of just make the most of what we have now. And I think that we have a great team, and there's no reason we shouldn't be able to do it again. But wins and losses are they're always going to happen. But if we play our hardest every game, we're probably going to win every game.
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked through the schedule, and it's one of these things that you don't know in week 8 and 9. I mean, I said Amundsen's got a circle on the schedule.
Yeah,
Taft definitely has a circle on the schedule, and those are programs that have historically been strong.
Yeah.
We've been able to get some big wins against them. I mean, Amundsen, first game was a huge win. Second game was a nail-biter in all of those things. So it should be fun. I think also, of course, week 4, Morgan Park facing off against Nasir Rankin. What are you thinking about going into a game like that?
I think we just have to focus on ourselves. There's going to be a lot of distractions. There's going to be a lot of people there, but if we focus on ourselves and play our game, we'll do just fine. So I think just keeping our thoughts and our focus on how we play, and we'll be great.
Yep. Talk a little bit more about, and we'll talk to Coach Boucher later. Talk a little bit more about what your expectations are out of the offense this year, how you fit into that offense, what we might see a little bit different, or are we going to do a lot of the same things and just keep executing on what we've seen in the past?
I think we are going to run some of the same stuff, but it's going to be better executed. I think for myself, at least, I've put on all this weight. I'm just trying to become a better football player, and I think in all of that, I'm going to help the team become just more well-rounded. I can help out Max. I can help out Joe if I can, help out myself. So I think we are more well-rounded. We're more experienced. And I think, will be great.
Yeah, we've talked about that. I mean, with as old guys, we've watched different quarterbacks as part of this program, right?
Yeah.
And so a lot of times I think I mentioned this even 3 years ago to Coach Finger, and just talking about, hey, I see a little bit of Pat McHale in Von Conrad, and I think what you're talking about is exactly what Pat could do as a senior, in that he was definitely a weapon. And you had the running ability last year, but it wasn't between the tackles running ability, right? And so I think you put on that weight, and then that changes things. I mean, that changes things up on zone reads, that changes things up on RPOs, and different things that you're able to do to put yourself in position, because you got a bunch of playmakers, without a doubt.
And a big shout out to Coach Pat. I mean, he was with us for 2-3 months. Having him around was the best. You know, being able to learn from him, and what he said, and it was great. Just having him around was amazing, and definitely would like to spend more time with him. He's a great guy, and
yeah. So, but then we have to ask the question, because when Tony McHale and I are sitting here, and the legacy of Pat McHale wearing 12, and then Bennett Newman wearing 12, and you broke our heart a little bit when you walked by 12 and you picked up 5.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. And I'm just kidding. I mean, you do you.
I've 5's always been my number since I was little, and I always will respect the tradition, and it's great. And I kind of wanted to go off and do my own thing this year, but yeah, I mean, that tradition hopefully will live on afterward, and all the respect to those guys. Great Bennett Newman, great Pat McHale, and it was an honor to wear that number, and kind of excited to now I get to honor Quinn Duhan.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's what I mean. That's no greater than that. I mean, you're fast. I'm not sure you're Mach 5.
Maybe not Quinn Duhan fast, but it's hard to beat.
So maybe just to wrap up here, I mean, again, you've had the experience as the quarterback here. What does you reflect a little bit on this overall program and what it's meant for you personally?
I think for me, not just as a football player, but as a person, being able to deal with tough things and challenges, and I think Coach Finger's done a great job of building a brotherhood in this program. I'm excited to be at football every day. I'm excited to go to practice every day. I'm excited to be around the guys every day. I'm staying at practice late just to be around those people, and I think just the culture of this program is right where it needs to be. I think we develop people. We develop football players, but we also develop people, and I think it really plays into the real world, and those real life skills are very, very important, and I think Coach Finger does a great job of teaching those.
He certainly does.
Yeah.
Well said, Von Conrad, starting quarterback. We'll see you out on the field next week. All right. Cool. Thanks. I think we got Bennett DeRoss. I haven't seen you since Miami University graduation.
Yeah.
You weren't graduating. It was your brother. So Bennett DeRoss, we talked briefly with Coach OD. So new position for you on defense.
Yeah.
Tell us about safety and what you're thinking about. What's going to go on back there?
Well, I think we're pretty good. But I originally started as a safety and just moved last year. So I think I'm pretty set, ready for it. Yeah.
All right.
Big shoes to fill.
Yeah. I mean, big. We talked just about the difference from the safety setup. We go from Duhan and Latham to you and Sheldon Williams.
Yeah.
So sort of different body types, but I mean, still in a good position. And in this defense, kind of you're in a playmaking type of position.
Right. Definitely more height this year.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to say it direct like that, but Bennett, yep.
But yeah, I think we're ready for it. Sheldon's pretty good. We're both going to be good back there. So.
All right. Yeah. And then tell us, and you battled through an injury. You had an your appendix removed, right? In the middle of last year, which was a little bit tough. You had to deal with that because you had some flashes early, then you missed a big part of the middle of the season, right? But then you were able to get back out on the field at the end of the year.
Yeah, that was troublesome because I played we had practice that day. I didn't know anything was wrong. My stomach was hurting a little bit. And then later that night, I just hurt super bad, couldn't go to sleep. Went to the hospital and got surgery later that night.
And then you were back on the field like a month later or so, which is cool, which is very cool. So tell us, just in summary, you've been with the program all of your years here, right? What has this meant for you, and then also what your expectations are, both on the field, but then also in the classroom your senior year?
Well, senior year, I'm hoping for a fun year, honestly. Just having fun, but I'm also hoping to win a lot. hoping to win every game and just win the city again. That would be awesome, yeah.
All right, and how about the classroom? You going to show up there once in a while?
Yeah, I am, hopefully.
How's college prep stuff going right now?
It's going well. I finished most of my essays and supplementals I just started doing. So.
Okay. Well, I always like to hear that on guys because football guys, as much if I could preach anything, is like get that stuff done before the season starts, right? Because because then you get caught behind the wave, right? And then if you want to do early action stuff, you want to do any of those things, it's kind of tough because you're trying to balance in football practices, prepping, weekend games, and everything else.
Right.
So well done to the Duras family for having Bennett on his game. Maybe that's all you, but maybe your mom and dad gave you a little bit of positive reinforcement there as well.
Definitely my mom. She told me to start doing it over the summer. So.
All right. Well, cool. Man, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
All right.
All right.
Thanks a lot. I think we might, I think they're trying to locate if we could get MJ Woods. It would be awesome. Oh man, you got the complete fit on.
I got to.
This looks good. I mean, I don't think I had anybody else that had like the full uni on.
Yeah, we finna go outside in a second. You know, I got to be ready.
All right. So going into senior year, you got some time last year, right? But now a lot more is going to be expected out of you, right?
Starting both ways.
Yep. So starting at safety and also at the Z, right?
Yep.
So I didn't do an intro. Sheldon Williams.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
We need to make sure people. Actually, I think. I don't know if it was the first touch. I mean, you had a touchdown on the first game last year, right?
That fade against Corliss.
Yeah, against Corliss. Josiah delivered you, so that's good.
My boy.
So talk about two things. I mean, Z, you gotta kind of make it work in this offense because sometimes those quarterbacks back there, they forget the Z. How are you going to make sure that they don't forget the Z?
Well, for one, I think it starts with not being mad at Vaughn for not seeing me. You know, like it's our plays, our reads. You can't go to your quarterback mad at him. You know, that's the first thing your man said. But the second, you gotta get open. You know, I'm the receiver. It's my job to get open. I gotta get in his vision. That's all it is.
Okay, all right. So we'll look forward to that. And then we were just talking to your safety running mate Bennett Duras. And I was trying to say it in a positive way, just saying, hey, the body types in the back are a little bit different this year. And then he just said, yeah, we're a lot taller. But there is definitely a difference. But are you as fast as either Latham or Duhan on the backside?
I think Quinn got everybody beat. I got it on Andrew. But
Okay.
Quinn was a different man. But, you know, we got to just step up. New safeties. You know how I go every year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So give us, it's your senior year. What are you looking for? What are you looking to try to accomplish on the field this year?
I think it's just being positive and not comparing ourselves to the beginning years. You know, last year we went 12-2. That was a great season, great year. But I don't want to look at it as we got to beat them. I just want to be the best for this team. It's a whole new team, new freshmen. We got to be better for ourselves. I do want to beat the 12-2 record, but that's not the goal. The goal is just have a great season, that's Coach Finger say.
Yeah, and I think that's that's incredible, and it is. It's we get caught up in this on media day because we got 1 foot in 2024 season and 1 foot in 2025, and there's also like that graduating class was a great class, and you always wonder. It's one of the questions I always ask Coach Finger about. How does the culture shift? I think there's a culture here, but then you definitely have different personalities within that, and I've seen it develop, and it's kind of interesting. But I love what you say because, all day today we're talking 12-2. Guess what? Tomorrow you guys are 0-0,
exactly.
Right? And I think we've mentioned to a couple of guys. There are, Whitney Young could sort of fly under the radar the last couple of years. We're not flying under the radar anymore. There are a whole bunch of teams that have us circled. So I'm glad that you have that mentality. I'm looking forward to bringing it out on the field.
I appreciate that.
All right, Sheldon.
I appreciate that.
Great.
Good seeing you.
Good to see you. All right. I think we might have Coach Boucher. Oh, we got MJ Woods. I was getting some feedback from my phone in my pocket. We got Marcus MJ Woods MJ, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
I think you've gotten bigger.
I have, most definitely.
So tell me about that, like, because, so we talk a lot about this. Like, when you walked in here 4 years ago, you were a 13-year-old, and we threw you out at left tackle and said, go block Hope. Go block the D end over there. How have things changed for you since being a 13-year-old and now being a college-recruited starting offensive lineman, starting defensive lineman for Whitney Young?
Well, when I first started against Hope, it was most definitely a humbling experience, seeing that change from youth football to high school football. So I just developed, kept growing, just started lifting, eating more, and started developing my game. So, yeah, so now going to my senior year, I'm excited to see what I can do.
We're all excited. So let's talk first offense. I had a chance to talk to Alex Oshevsky earlier. I mean, you guys had Alex Dale, you had Juan Cepeda, guys that had started for 4 years. You're now a guy that started for 4 years. How does the line sort of evolve? Because when you take out all that experience, and now this is, it's your line, it's Dylan's line, it's Alex's line. How does that change for you, do you think?
So when we first, we're going to get our own line, we're going to develop them, try to get their mindset right for the upcoming games. Since they don't have that much experience, we're going to keep developing them, and we're going to that's all I can say, keep developing.
And then so for you also a position change this year, correct?
Yeah.
So you're moving inside. Tell us what you're thinking about that and what you think that means for the offense.
Since I play mostly everywhere, I think this is a good fit for me because since I'm at center, I'm more powerful at that position, and guard, I'm more powerful at that position too. So I think I'm more of a versatile guy, so I could go anywhere in the line, and that means like the other linemen, they're good where they're at, and we're just gonna keep moving me, see where I can fit. Since that's really all I gotta say.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so really I think the line overall is going to be strong, but then definitely up the middle of this line, both the size and the strength of who we have in the middle of the line is going to be exciting. All right, so that's offense. Let's talk defense because we already talked to Coach O.D., and he is super excited about the overall defense, but also the defensive line. So tell us about that. I mean, that's been something where you've played a lot of reps there, but then, I think this year, again, talking to the line, there's depth there, but there's also there's some different body types. I mean, so you being on the line with Dylan, with John Spellers, tell us how that's going to all play out, you think?
Since John, he's a newcomer, but he's definitely grew a lot since last year. We're going to use his size to contain the edge, and we're going to use my power and speed just to blow up any block. And Dylan, he's just strong guy, just in the middle, just clocking him anything. And our tools, they're going to keep developing more and see what we do, and they're going to execute on the field.
Yeah, yep. So that's all. Like that. I think one of the things when we were talking about the coaches, or talking to the coaches, and Nick Dale, All-State at center and at nose tackle, and they were just talking. I mean, they're talking about you, and they're talking about historically, Tommy Basario is a guy that played at the college level. You've probably heard Tommy's name. I don't know if you've mentioned him, but a lot of people think a lot similar body types and guys. But talked about you being a better technician. Really have worked on your craft and a lot. And then when they talked about the defensive line, they're like, yeah, Nick was really, really good, but MJ is really, really good, and he's a little meaner. Is that true?
I would say so because, I'm just a destructive guy. And, once I see that ball snap, my first mind is go get to the ball. Anybody in front of me, they're going to have to face my power and just got to deal with it for the rest of the 4 quarters.
All right, very good. And then let's wrap up. You've definitely are talking on the college front, so you got a couple offers out there. How is that progressing, and what are you thinking about that as we move, not so much into the season, but into then the off season from there?
During this off season, I was just developing my craft, getting stronger, faster, going out to these camps, getting my name out there, and then going into this season, I'm just surprised at what coaches can come out and see what I could do. But the game I'm looking really forward to is Week 4 against Morgan Park because I know that's going to be packed. So, and coaches are still texting me, seeing how I'm doing and stuff. I'm just responding, trying to build a better relationship.
All right, very good. MJ Woods, man, thank you. We'll look forward to seeing you out on the field next week.
All right, Mr. No.
All right, thank you. All right, Brian Pantoja.
Yes, sir.
How's it going?
It's going well.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So, Brian, you probably played about 1 million special team snaps over your career here at Whitney Young, but then also been in the mix on the defensive side. And I mean, I think you probably, I don't know if you had reps as a freshman, definitely had reps as a sophomore, and then last year and then this year. And so, tell us about progression of you as a person within Whitney Young Dolphin football over the last 4 years.
I mean, as a person, the Dolphin football program has helped me grow like 1 million times what I think I would have grown if I wasn't a part of it. Like, it's just, it gives you the opportunity reflect on yourself every day and try and get better every day. So I don't know, it's just, I love being here.
Yeah,
I've been here 4 years, and I don't know, it's sad to know it's my last year.
You got a full year, but I hear what you're saying, though. I mean, I think it a couple guys have mentioned it. It goes incredibly fast.
It was fast. Yeah, it feels like just yesterday I was a freshman.
Yeah. So also reflect on it, because you've seen the senior group. I mean, when you were a freshman, it was Alex Dale as a senior, right?
It was just him.
Yeah, it was basically just him. There were a couple other guys there.
We had Barsma and Jacob Mraz.
Jacob Mraz, yep. So I always want to make sure those guys, get a little bit of shout out. But yeah, and then a difference too is that I think the past 2 years, really great classes, but not as big, right? 10 guys, 10, 11 guys, all guys that were contributing, playing both ways, both this past year and 2 years ago. So now you come in and you guys are like a class of 27 guys.
Yeah, we've got a really big class. I think we've got the depth there, and I think our guys are going to make plays this year.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think the other thing that's challenging for you guys in some ways too. And how, do you think has practice changed at all? I mean, in that you have 27 seniors, so you have a lot of experience.
We've got a lot of senior guys on the scout team, on the second team. It's definitely changed since I was a freshman. I was a freshman, I was getting reps with the starting team, and now that's just not a thing anymore. No freshmen are on the starting team.
Yeah, and I think in some ways, and this will be, I think Coach Finger, he has to sort of live in the moment and focus on this year. I mean, it will be interesting with when we graduate 27. You look around a lot of other programs, and a Lane graduates 27 or a Taft graduates 27. But I definitely think right now we're benefiting from the fact that a guy like you was getting reps with the starters as a freshman.
Yeah.
And then you're right. I mean, that's not quite the same, but I think that the overall depth of the team, you mentioned it, I think is going to be one of the strengths of what we have this season.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so to wrap it up, your senior year, we talked about on the field. What about everything else? Brian Pantoja, what are we looking forward to in the classroom or beyond for your senior year?
I don't know. We're looking forward to college applications, maybe a little bit of engineering in there, maybe
all right,
some finance. But I don't know. We're going to keep working. I mean, I got a job. I just do that on the weekends. Football is the main thing.
All right. Very good. Thank you, my friend. Great to see you. We'll see you out on the field next Friday.
I'll see you.
All right. Brian Pantoja. Coach Eddie Boucher.
Hello.
Coach Eddie, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you doing today, Barry?
We're doing all right. We got we worked through most of them. We didn't do all 27 seniors. Thank you.
Yeah.
Whoever made that decision.
That's
because it was going to be we're gonna be I said we'll have our 6-hour show. All right. I had pulled out some stats earlier.
Okay.
And looking at this team from last year, right? And so last year is somewhat relevant, but kind of actually after today it sort of becomes moot, right? It's all about this year's team. But last year, and when I was looking at rushing yardage, over 2,000 yards on the year, 2,058 rushing yards. 1,315 passing yards. So that's I think the year before that was pretty balanced. Maybe the year before that a little more passing. I mean, sometimes that's just game. The game dictates some of those things.
Yep.
But averaged over 23 points a game, and over 241 yards per game. You got a senior quarterback, returning starter. You've got some skill players in Maxwell Warner, Joseph Gray at the running back. You got Bardsma. So you got a lot of skill players returning, and you got 60% of your offensive line returning. Is this just easy? Can you just hit repeat?
It's never easy. We especially when you're losing kind of the leaders that we lost this past season. Nick Dale. Quinn Duhan, Luke Yolich obviously played a big role in our offense last year. So we're lucky to have a lot of returning guys, a really strong core coming back on offense. But there's going to be some adjustments, and there's going to be some guys playing some important positions, especially on that offensive line. So I'm just trying to keep that fire under the guys who have been here and under the guys who are stepping into those big shoes to fill. So. It's really exciting. I think the guys who have stepped into those roles have done a great job, just picking up where we left off last year. And I think we're in a really good position to keep this thing moving.
Yeah, and maybe let's have you highlight. We talked to MJ and Alex. You got Logan Jones and Efren Solano as your new starters.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about each one of those guys and what we can expect out of them.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of guys who have been in the program since they were freshmen, and they've kind of had the luxury to be able to learn and, behind the guys we mentioned earlier. Efren was a guy who played youth football, so he came in with some of that football experience, and he had the opportunity to play last year in some very important moments. He had to step in when Nick went down in the Amundsen game in the playoffs, so he was kind of put in that role where we're in this really important, we're in this really pivotal moment, city championship game, and luckily he had been a guy who had been laser focused all year, all season in practice, and he stepped in kind of seamlessly. And I think that's really beneficial to where he is today as far as taking over that starting center role. Logan Jones is a guy who, like I said, he didn't play football coming in. He was with the program, though, for the last 2 years. And he's really bought into that role at left tackle. He's very physical. He's got a good frame, and he knows how to use it violently. And he's a really good athlete. His speed numbers are good, and so we're really excited to see him step on the field and kind of help us as we move forward.
All right, and let's talk tight end. Barry Gordon, BG3, all conference last year, and made some huge plays, added a lot. So you got a new tight end room.
Yep.
Some guys with some experience.
Yep.
And how does that work in both? Talk about the guys, but then talk also how that position works in the offense. If it's exactly the same, or if you got a little bit of nuance to that this year as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of stepping in that role this year is Ayo Kunle. He brings a different skill set than Barry Gordon might have last year, and he was a guy who saw some reps last year, so that's going to be a good thing for him moving forward. But he's a former offensive lineman who, due to his athleticism and kind of his frame, we thought he might be able to play a better role at tight end, and so given that kind of background for him, he brings that skill set of being a very aggressive and technically sound blocker. And so a lot of what you're going to see on the field is going to be similar to last year, but we're excited to be able to put him in different positions where we can use that blocking skill to kind of further aid our run game, which is already boosted by our offensive line. So he's going to be really, really pivotal in our running game this season.
All right, cool. And then wide receiver core, we talked to Miles Bardsma, and not to say that we've given him enough pub, but clearly he's going to be the focus of the offense. Talked to Sheldon Williams. I challenged him to make sure that the Z gets the ball once in a while this year. And then we really actually haven't talked about Rayton and what his role will be in the offense, taking on that Quinn Duhan position. So hit those guys and any of the other skill positions at the wide receiver position that you want to mention.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Rayton's stepping in that Quinn Duhan role, and that role we typically like to view as, a guy who's going to be reliable, an outlet guy, a guy we're going to send in motions all over the field, a guy who has to know all of those things on the field. So Rayton's obviously, he's a very intelligent football player. He's a guy who, the coaching staff frequently says probably has the best hands on the team. If the ball's in the air around him, he's going to be able to track it, and he's going to be able to pull it down. That kind of reliability, that kind of, brain on the field at any given time, we think he's going to fit in pretty seamlessly. It's really hard to kind of follow behind a guy like Quinn Duhan, of course. But we think he's going to be able to step into that role pretty well. And then, we've got a core of, kind of young backups behind those guys. Chase Green is a guy who saw some limited action last year, dealt with some injuries and wasn't really able to see too much of the field due to that. But he's a guy who's got blazing speed. He's playing the F position, so that's more in line with what we saw out of Quinn Duhan. But he gets the ball in his hands and he can get up the field really fast. And then at the backup Z position, there's a couple of young receivers, Arlen Cooper and Cameron Brown, who's actually an incoming freshman, who they've been battling, competing all season. That decision, who's going to back up Sheldon Williams at the Z spot's going to come down to the last minute, but they've been doing a great job competing. Really, really good frames, really good athleticism. Which is kind of the mold we like to see at that position. So, all
right. So running backs, we talked to Max. I think Joseph Gray is hanging out over there. Hopefully, I can catch up with him in a bit. Talk about those guys. I mean, both have experience. Max clearly saw a lot of him last year. Yep. Joseph Gray, I know that when we talked earlier, said, "Hey, we had to throw the game on his back against Johnson last year." So talk about those two guys in the backfield.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Maxwell's a guy who came in freshman year having never played football, and just with the athletic tools he had, he was part of the first, what I like to call, three-headed monster with Luke Yolich and Joseph Clayton. And he as well. So they kind of started that trend where I like to have three running backs at any given time who can step in and kind of carry the ball. And as he's progressed over the 4 years, obviously, I don't need to say too much about him. But, he's a guy who we're going to count on to be able to do it all, right? Early on, due to his speed, he was kind of like a speed back. We'd give him perimeter runs. He'd hit the outside. He'd get up the sideline. This year, we're really looking forward to him taking that next step and being able to carry it in between the tackles, break tackles, in order to be compatible with that speed he has. So really excited about that. Joseph Gray is a converted wide receiver, and he's kind of been a guy who's really played all over the place. He's taken some snaps at quarterback, but he's just a guy who's really reliable, a leader, and he's a guy who we trust as a coaching staff. And it was, in fact, that Johnson game last year that as we came into this offseason, I was like, I want that guy in the backfield. He's the kind of back who he runs hard, he falls forward, and we're going to have to replace that ability because Luke Yolich was so good at that last year. He was very rarely going backwards, and I think what we saw from Joe in that Johnson game really kind of cemented his spot as that backup running back.
All right, so let's a counter to what everybody does. We left the quarterback for last. I mean, everybody's those quarterbacks. I was talking to Vaughn's dad once, and I'm like, thing about a quarterback is you get far too much accolades when the team does well, and you got far too many when they don't do well. But a big thing to have a quarterback that has a full year of varsity experience. It's just such a complicated position. Tell us what Vaughn has done and where he fits into your offense and what you're looking for out of him this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he was a first-year start at the toughest position on the offense last year, and he was surrounded by a really good supporting cast on that offense. And so to some extent, he was running the offense, but he was able to kind of lean on those guys at any given time. And while he kind of picked up the nuances of playing varsity football at the quarterback position. So he has that experience now. This year we're really looking forward to him stepping into that leadership role and looking forward to him being able to be that kind of guiding force on the offense as well. He kind of got the full gamut of the offense last year. He's a kid who has the athleticism, the speed to be able to run the ball. He does really well in the pass game at certain levels. And so a big change that we saw this offseason is he put on 15 or so pounds. I think it's visibly noticeable. And we really think it's going to help in our quarterback run game, which is a big part of the offense for us. So, I've spoken with him, and he's really excited to be able to run the ball more confidently, and obviously that comes with the experience and his work in the weight room this offseason. So we think we're going to probably see an uptick in that, just because we think he's going to be so much better at it because of all the work he put in. And
all right.
We talked about his supporting group, and so we're really excited to be able to kind of open up the offense with him at quarterback.
All right. Well, that'll be a lot of fun. Probably maybe a trick play or two.
Maybe maybe it's not that we run those very often. No, it's always it's always good to have those in. So.
All right. Yeah. Well, very good, Eddie.
Right.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you. I think we've got. Joseph Gray he's on his phone to his agent right now. He wanted to make sure that he was getting properly compensated. Yeah, it's your mom. Yeah, she's your agent.
Yeah. Ooh, these sound good.
Hey, you like that, huh?
Yeah.
It's not. That's why. Why do you think? We just love listening to ourselves talk. That's why we get these things on. So. Joseph Gray, football player.
Yeah.
There were rumors that you were going to take 0.
Yeah.
But we were all watching when you came down.
Yeah. A lot of kids are like, oh, 0, that's the toughest number. Like one of the best players should have number 0. And I was like, maybe. I was enticed a little bit, but when I thought about why I wear 21, not only it's cool number like my birthday, 21st, but one of the seniors, Harrison.
Yeah.
Just someone who I look up to, who inspired me, who made me the player I am. I was like, why would I switch to a different number when this one carries so much?
Love it. That ties into the Whitney Young lore.
Yeah.
So Harrison Goss, I mentioned him earlier, playing D-end edge rusher at Illinois.
Yeah.
So you had a monster year last year on defense.
Yeah.
Tell us what that was like. I mean, because we also talked about, hey, we got a little bit of a linebacker I mean, if going all the way back to a guy like Sam Wyatt, who you were still in grammar school when he was playing, but carried through to Alex Dale, Joseph Clayton, team up, then Clayton and Yolich. Then last year, Yolich and you at that middle linebacker position.
Yeah.
Tell us how the game has changed for you, because you had reps as a sophomore. You had reps as a freshman even. But tell us how the game on the field has changed for you from those early days to what you are now.
Yeah. I feel like every year, I talk with my dad, and we say every year the game just gets a little bit slower. That first step, it's just a little bit quicker. So, last year, I remember just the play would develop, and I'd just be able to see the puller, see the ball, and just go get the ball. A lot of people said in my film, I was first one to the ball. And I think that's very true, and that helped me get a lot of tackles and also just mess up a lot of plays on offense. But, this year, definitely, scrimmaging Lane Tech and scrimmaging Peyton, it's just a lot slower. The game is slowed down. And you gain confidence, obviously. So freshman year, I'm feeling small, and Alex Dale was a big guy, but he was always like, you just gotta just roll your hips. And then I was like, yeah, but you're big. What do I do? I'm small. And then I see Joseph Clayton do it, Luke do it, and I'm just like, maybe everyone is the same size in pads. So. Yeah.
I think that's right. So you got a new Rayton as your new running mate in the middle. How do you think you guys will play off each other?
Honestly, I think me and Rayton have better chemistry than me and Luke, because me and Rayton are the same class, but I've also just been able to see Ray-Tang. He has a very good, he has good sense of where to go during the play. And so, like, whether it's a pass or a run, he knows where to be on the field. And I think that's crucial because with Mike and Will, it's like you have one who is going to just go straight, shoot the gap, try to blow up the gap, and you have to trust your Will to clean it up. And I think me and Luke had that down, but me and Ray-Tang have that down even further because Ray-Tang knows he's not the biggest person on the field, but he knows where his assignment is every time. When last year, a couple times, me and Luke were just like, we both shot the gap and maybe missed the play. But Ray-Tang's knowing sometimes you play it a little patient, which is good. Very good.
Cool. So that's the defensive side. Offensive side, we were just talking to Coach Eddie. You're going to get a lot of reps at running back. Yeah. Are you excited about that?
Yeah, I'm very excited. I mean, I've always wanted to, like, get the ball. I mean, I've gotten the ball a good amount of times, but I want this year to be a year where I can show that, like, I can, like hold the game in my hands sometimes, where if we need a first down, I can get a first down. And also learning from Max, who's, like, just a great player, I'm learning so much more about, like, at running back, because at Northside, like, in 8th grade, 7th grade, 6th grade, I'd play running back. But now when I'm, like, playing running back, it's so much different. Like, it's the same thing as playing linebacker, but with a ball in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I have a little bit of an edge to see the whole.
Yeah. I mean, I like that a lot as far as the vision. I mean, because both of those positions are about vision. I mean, you're keying, you're reading off of something, but then you got to make it happen, right? Mm-hmm. Then you have to hit the accelerator and make it happen. We saw that against Johnson last year. I mean, that was you really. I mean, and we think back to that game being a 1-point game, but it was also a game that we were without Luke. Yeah. We were out without Barry, and we were missing somebody else in that game.
Max,
right. Yeah, just those guys. Yeah. Just those guys. Yeah, just whatever. So also, I mean, thinking about the schedule this year, and we're talking about how we're sure that the Amundsen and you played with Reggie Mitchell, right, when you guys were growing up. I mean, is that how are you guys still in communication? And what because both of you guys are returning. He was a first teamer. You're second team on defense. There's a great football program that has produced you guys. I mean, what is that like, knowing some of the guys in this league?
Yeah, I was texting Reggie like a little bit ago because I posted on my story like the new jerseys, and like we still talk a lot. And I played with Reggie, I played with Diesel, McFadden, I played with a couple guys on St. Ignatius, a couple guys on DePaul, and it's nice to see like all of those guys are still playing at a high level and still are operating at a high level, which not only like makes me want to operate at that level too, but it's also very encouraging to see like it wasn't a fluke. Like that training, like it's bigger than football. That at Whitney Young preaching that too, and they're at their schools preaching that too. So I think for our old coach Michael Lohman, he's probably just very happy. Very happy to see that. And also it's fun to like put yourself up against people who back in the day you're teammates and now you're not teammates, so it's fun to play, and it's really like good competition.
And that's great. Maybe you do a quick reflection on that and I think I want to have you quickly reflect both. You've talked a lot about the field. What about Whitney Young as a school and you as a student, and both how you've progressed, and then what's going on the college front, and what are you thinking from that from a senior? I hope your answer is better than a lot of guys' answers, because they're like, I got to start taking things seriously. Yeah, of course. But give us your reflection on Whitney Young as an academic institution as well.
I think Whitney Young is very it prepares you so well for not only just being able to take a college course, but it prepares you to almost like live life correctly, in a sense where a lot of kids may think life is all about getting an A on the test or all about making sure you turn your assignment in on time. But I think a lot of times kids miss the relationships you build and how you carry them, and also like even with your teachers, how teachers they not only push kids, but they also want kids to understand what they're doing. Like my mom would tell me, don't try to get through the test, like try to let the test get through you, so you really understand what you're doing. And with college, I'm not like 100% certain on one college. there's one place I can go and play D3 for sure, so it's going to be fun to play in college. But if a greater opportunity comes to play D1 at a really big school, then that would be great. And I've also been preparing for the SAT in October, so hopefully I do pretty good on that. My grades are decent too, so I'm not too worried about college. But yeah, and also with the team, like growing up in Whitney Young, it's I feel like they've bred me to be a leader, and I think I've had that a little bit, but it was just produced even more with Coach Finger and Coach Eddie, like really leaning into Mentality Monday or Toughness Tuesday. Because as a freshman, you're kind of like, all right, I'm just trying to get on the field. But once you're on the field, you're like, wait, what's the next step? And I think that's the next step that takes players from like that middle ground to that level where they can really play and really influence kids.
That's awesome. Joseph Gray, whose Instagram is the 6th Gray, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you should give a shout out to the other Grays.
Yeah, I have. There's 12 other Grays because recently my brother had another baby, so I have 6 siblings. I have one who she just got licensed as an architect. One who he's a consultant. He's doing well. He has a wife. Now he has 2 kids. Another one who just got married and had a kid. He's living in Champaign-Urbana. His wife's getting her doctorate at U of I for chemical engineering. My other brother, he just moved back to Chicago. He's he got a new job. Like he's about to move out and be on his own. My other brother just got married and he just moved out. He's really happy. They came back from their honeymoon. And then there's me. I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, you're doing pretty good.
And then my little sister, who is in 7th grade, she got into Lane Tech for the academic center, but she chose not to go because she wanted to come to Whitney Young.
All right. Yeah, love it. Love it. Well, Joseph, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
The football player, everybody. Looking forward to seeing you out on the field this year.
Yes.
All right. Yep. Let's if we can grab Coach Finger, that'd be great. Thank you. All right.
Hello.
Whew. Coach Daniel Finger entering 7th year 7 here as a head coach, and which is amazing because you're only like 19 years old. So is it like
I every year, you look at the mirror before this, you're like, okay, I'm a lot more gray, I will say.
I don't know, man. I think you're the Peter Pan of high school coaches, man.
Yeah. Tell that to the kids.
So we've been on air for a while, so we've rattled off some of these things, but I was just going back through looking at some of the stuff. I mean, state qualifier again last year. I mean, city championship. 3 of the last 4. Like your first 2 years, there wasn't playoffs because it was teacher strike and COVID, but then 3 of the 4 years from there qualifying for state. Last year getting that state win against Kenwood. I rattle off like in red division last year. I mean, our offense averaged 24 points. Our defense gave up less than 10. 5 shutouts. Just historic year last year. So maybe like let's we've hit on a bunch of those things. Give me a couple minutes on last year's team and what that sort of feeds into the program, and then we'll pivot into this year.
Definitely. It's every year we're lucky to work with an exceptional group of kids. Like that's just how it is at Whitney Young. And so every year you're going to have to replace some really valuable members of your locker room. And then, depending on the year, some valuable contributors too. So, just with the captains, Nick, Dale, Luke Yolich, Quinn Duhan, those guys were 4-year varsity guys. Those guys did everything for us. 2-way starters, different positions over their 4 years, all that stuff. And so replacing those guys is going to be brutal on the field and off the field. It's tough, and in fact you can't. It's whatever the Moneyball meme is, we replace them in the aggregate, hopefully. And then guys like Barry Gordon and Aaron Champion and Will DeMille and Brandon Dockett and Juan Cepeda and so many guys who just contributed in ways you may not have seen when they were freshmen, and that's the fun part of the job. And so cannot try and replicate exactly what we did last year. As much success as we had and as much of that formula is applicable for some of the guys we have coming back, the next step is to kind of retool around a lot of the great players that came back. So I was talking to Vaughn, and he was talking about we haven't put in much outside zone. And it's like, well, Nick was really good at outside zone. Efren Solano is a really good gap scheme blocker. We're not going to ask Efren to try and get on the perimeter and lead up on outside zone like Nick was last year.
If he gets out there, look out.
Yeah, he's trouble. It's a freight train. But the problem is getting out there for big Efren. So we're going to ask Efren to do things he's good at. And so same thing with, guys like Rayton, Scott Meir playing inside is not the same as Luke Yulich. In terms of his build and his makeup and his physicality are not the same. Rayton is lightning quick and sneaky physical and super smart. And so the way we scheme him up is going to look a little different than Luke. And so that's the challenge every year. That's the fun part every year as a coach, is to kind of sit in with the coaches in January and kind of go, all right, where do we project everybody going? Seeing them work hard with their speed and their strength in the spring, clinicking a ton as coaches, and then sitting back down in May and going, all right, let's put together a mock depth chart, let's put together a mock playbook, and then you get your summer practices and you're like, all right, we got to tear this up and we got to throw this in and we got to, hey, I really like the way this looked. I didn't think we were going to actually do it that much, but let's do it a ton. And so that's the fun part. That's a long, you and I will get going, Barry. But
we could be on for another 7 hours. I mean, the thing that, and you touched, so now we're going to pivot to this year, and you said this, it's like it's so difficult. I mean, every year, I was thinking 2 years ago, it's like, how do you graduating guys like Joseph Clayton, Anthony Hood, guys that have been around for 4 years. Now you named off the 4-year guys, and throw in Quinn Duhan as a guy that had a lot of plays. We're still, in some ways, we're almost done with the benefit of having the years when the team was really small. We're talking to even a guy like Brian Pintohan. He was saying, hey, I had reps with the starters when I was a freshman.
Right.
So now you have a senior class of 27. So a little different in that you've got a lot of experience, and I think Brian or one of the other guys were mentioning, we got seniors on scout team. So I want to hear about if that's changed the dynamic of practice. But then I think my big question is always just there's a culture here that is this coaching staff. I want to talk about that, but then I also want to talk about every year there's a little bit of a change of the dynamic because the guys fit into that a little bit different, and your leaders are a little bit different. Even thinking about the offensive line, a guy like Juan Cepeda and a guy like Nick, just different personalities. From you have 60% of your guys back, but they're different personalities.
100%. Yeah, and it's for us, it's a good problem to have a ton of seniors, but it's also when we were smaller and our classes were smaller, it was so clear who the leaders are going to be. They looked at each other, and guys who'd been on the field as freshmen obviously were expected a lot as seniors, and that kind of. But as we kept going, guys who were on the field, there were fewer and fewer guys on the field as freshmen, right? And so there were fewer and fewer of those dynamics. And one of the things we've been talking about with the senior group, and it's exciting for me to see, yesterday was a big step for these guys. The cavalry's not coming, right? Nick's not coming running out of the tunnel and going to be able to get everybody lined up and take care and be the leader. And I say it every year because the year before that we said, hey, Bennett Newman and Anthony Hood and Joseph Clayton aren't coming out of the tunnel. It's got to be you, Luke. It's got to be you, Nick. It's got to be you, Quinn. And so these guys have really started to step up. When you have such a big class, they can be, well, somebody else is going to do it. It's the tragedy of the commons or whatever.
Sure. Yep.
I'm sure somebody else is going to get that freshman right. I don't necessarily need to do it. And it's that buy-in of, hey, we don't walk past stuff that we know needs to go to the field. If you're walking past it, pick it up and bring it. Because if not you, then who, right? And so that's been a big thing. And we just had our captain's vote. We had 16 guys receive votes, which is a really big number. And we named Joseph Gray, Vaughn Conrad, Max Warner, and MJ Woods were voted. Every year it's different. We'll cut it off at a certain number. Those guys separated. There were tiers in the votes, and that was the first tier. And but we talk about it a lot. Like a guy like Kendall Lynham, who's not necessarily a starter but gets a ton of captain votes, and just because of the way he practices, having seniors on scout team, to me is extremely valuable because they know the procedure first and foremost. They know what a scout card is. They know how to read it. They know how to get lined up. They know how to give us a look. But then they're competing their butt off. That's his game day. He's ready to go, and he's going to make as many plays as he can. And he's going to let you hear about it too. And so it's a really good look for our guys. And it's the old adage, iron sharpens iron. So as many of those experienced, hard-working seniors you can get on scout team, the better you're going to be. And that gets that guy ready when somebody else is nicked up or somebody else is sprained an ankle. Yesterday we had Jameer Spencer sprain his ankle in the scrimmage, and he's a guy we were playing on a ton of special teams and playing some running back and playing some linebacker. And so a guy like Lee Dingfield is ready to go. And we've got full confidence in him and guys like Devander Shoemaker and other guys with some special teams experience. That's going to help us really win those margins, which last year, how many 1-point games that came down to special teams?
Yeah,
and
four 1-point. I think I keep getting it wrong. I think 4 1-point and then 1 double overtime that was a 3-point.
3 points, right?
yeah.
And again, one with a special teams play, field goal block, field goal made, and those plays are a lot more comfortable for me as the special teams coordinator when it's a senior in there, and so having guys you trust is huge for that.
Let's do, actually, because we've talked offense and defense. I know special teams, the doctors last year were critical to so many wins, and so you had Ben Barrett as a 5-star long snapper. You had Solomon Bradley, who you were comfortable rolling out there probably, 40 yards in him. He kicked a couple of those, and also as a punter, and then Vaughn as a holder. I heard something the other day that somebody was saying, hey, it's 33, 33, 34. It's 33 on the snap, 33 on the hold, 34 on the kick. Everybody looks at the kicker. But so that's a big change for you this year. Talk about some of the guys in those positions.
Yeah, we're not super thrilled right now with the long snapping. I got cozy with Ben, to be honest with you. It is, and shame on me because I'm a football coach, so I shouldn't do it, but I think fans and just people in general take long snappers for granted, and he was a damn good long snapper.
Yeah.
And so we're still working our timing out. We've got Tim Edwards snapping, we've got Ben Miller snapping, and Leo Galeta, our sophomore snapper, doing a good job, but they're not Ben Barrett, so we're working that timing. It's a lot more work for our holders. It was so easy for those guys, but we've got guys like Vaughn coming back. We're hoping to get him off as a holder, so I'm working on Josiah Purnell, and we're working on some of the sophomore quarterbacks on the holding. And then the kicking, we've got a couple of good kickers we're excited about. Sean Miller and Yoni Luze are both making good kicks, and a young guy, Malachi Martin, freshman, who's a lefty, but he's pretty good from 30 and in, so we're comfortable with that. Now we just got to iron out that operation. So we're going to miss Ben like crazy. Salo, big leg, and but this year we're not rolling guys out probably from 45 like we were with Salo, but we're pretty comfortable with these guys like 30 and in and 30, up to 35 so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk then culture of program, and I know that each of your days is a theme.
Yep.
So I want you to talk a little bit, because today is a
Set the Expectation Saturday.
Set the Expectation Saturday, and that means something more. Tell us about that.
Sure. Yeah. Set the Expectation is an organization founded by Brenda Tracy. Brenda was a victim of sexual violence when she was an undergrad athlete, and the perpetrators were football players at her university, and she has not allowed that to sort of dictate her circumstances. She has founded this organization, Set the Expectation, committed to preventing violence against women, domestic violence, sexual violence, all of that. And she is a strong proponent of starting at the collegiate level, of starting with collegiate athletes. She's partnered with a ton of different football programs in the past: Michigan, Vanderbilt, Stanford, a plethora of programs, and not just football programs, but athletic departments throughout the country. And so we use a lot of her resources and her promotional materials and her stuff to kind of start with our guys. And we talk about the physical privilege that we have as football players. All of our players are trained in violence, and the damage they inflict, if somebody comes up and punches them in the face, it's going to do less than whatever they inflict. So even if it's in defense, when the authorities come and check, who's going to get in more trouble? Well, whoever got hurt less is probably going to get in more trouble, and it's generally going to be us. And so understanding that, and then understanding our role in jokes about rape and jokes about sexual assault and stuff like that, and how traumatic that is and scarring that is for women for the most part, and some men, and just how we can stop our peers from kind of making light of those situations, because often our language teaches people who perpetrate these acts that it's actually lighthearted and it's okay to do these things. And so I think it's big to start that with teenage boys, and to just use the influence we have for good with that. So that's what Set the Expectation's all about. And I think hopefully our guys tuck this away in their brains and it never comes up again, but at some point they're going to know a woman who's a victim of that sort of thing, and they can kind of support and handle it as well as they can. So.
Yeah, and that's a big thing about like what you've developed in this program, and I've talked about it on broadcasts. I mean, I think it's always fascinating for me is that you have a little bit of old school, you got a little bit of new school, and it fits in there. I mean, you communicate so well to these guys. Not listening. I've sat in on film sessions, and everybody is paying attention, and they're getting a yes coach, no coach. They're dialed in, but you're not breaking clipboards and throwing headsets and other things like
not
that.
On camera, definitely. Yeah.
But tell us about that. I mean, that's you've been through this program as a player. You went to Hamilton. You clearly love coaching, and you soak up a lot of this stuff. How much of it is just Coach Daniel Finger, and that's who he is, and that's what you get?
My grandfather was a high school football coach for 40 years in New York State, and really, they named the stadium after him at Roy Hart High School, and he was really successful. But he was a head track coach as well. But if you ask him what he did, he told you he taught calculus. He loved teaching calculus. He's a firm believer. He always says that coaching is teaching. If we go in these classrooms and kids are spelling words wrong, you don't see spit flying from the English teacher, and you go to the spelling bee and people are slamming headsets, and it just doesn't happen. And now there's a violence to football, and if we don't have an urgency, people are going to get hurt. If you're not doing your job. So we got to get serious at some point, especially with older guys who should know better, right? But one big thing, Coach Eddie and I saw Coach Ryan Day speak in 2020, right before the COVID pandemic. Out in Virginia, and one thing that he always emphasizes is he doesn't believe in tough love. He believes in loving tough. Love's got to come first, right? You can't be tough on kids when you don't have a relationship with them, because otherwise you're just shutting doors, and they're going to shut off. They're going to not think of you as a resource. They're not going to think of you as a mentor or anything like that. So that's a big thing, and we talk about it with our coaches all the time. It's got to be love tough. Can't be tough love, because the love has to come first. There's got to be a welcoming program for kids of all experiences, kids from all backgrounds. 80% of our kids have never played football before high school. Some of our best players never played football before high school. So I'm going to come in and start barking at them their first day. They should know what they're doing. They never had a helmet on. These things are going a million miles an hour. We got to teach, and we got to love, and then we get tough, right? Then when the pads are banging and the proverbial bullets are flying, then we can start going, hey, we got to have some urgency, and we can start barking, and they know it's coming from a place of, hey, this is what's best for you, this is what's best for us, so let's make it happen. And I think they respond best then. And whether it's me, I tell the coaches all the time, if the kids don't like you, that's a problem. If I don't like you, that's a problem. We're going to spend a lot of time together. You got to be friendly. We've got to be amicable and all that stuff. So that's part of it too. This should be fun. It's football. It's not. I know I said bullets flying, but I try to stay away as much as I can from battle and war analogies. That's not what we're doing out here. Come on. It's physical. It's violent. It's all that, but it's not life or death. And it's about just getting better and having fun. And so putting that first is a big part. Now, this is Whitney Young, and there's a bunch of banners, and we finally got one for ourselves. But so we better win. But that's embracing that competitive spirit and putting that first, and pushing yourself against the barometer that you've previously set is the number one goal. Showing up and being hey, I'm here because I love to compete, and I may fail, but I'm going to learn from it, and that's where the growth happens. And that embracing that is the exciting part, is what's cool. And hopefully teenage boys, they don't have that full development of that frontal lobe, so sometimes that's the toughest thing to embrace.
Swiss cheese, yeah.
Coming out and saying, hey, we just won whatever to nothing, and we played horribly, guys, and that wasn't good enough. And then we lose, or we something doesn't go our way, and saying, hey, actually this was great, and kind of teaching them to see the scoreboard flipped upside down is a big part of it too. So.
All right. I'm getting intimidated because I have the rest of your ssenior class that's staring down, and then we're going to go.
They're intimidating. So you're intimidated?
Yeah, I'm intimidated by them. I'm intimidated. But we're gonna go speed round with these guys, because as much as I would love to talk to all you guys for 10 minutes each. We've been on air for a couple hours. Good. Coach Finger, we're gonna catch up with you throughout the course of the year, right?
Yes.
So we do some pregame interviews with you. I would talk through the whole schedule, but that'll develop, man. Yep. I said to a couple of these guys, it's fun to talk about 12-2. It's fun to talk about city championship. You guys are 0-0 right now.
Exactly. Yep. And the managers were asking me, how do you think we're going to be this season? And I said, first of all, I'm always pessimistic this time of year, and so I'm whatever our last practice was, and whatever our next practice is, and so that's how I view it. This guy had a great day yesterday, though. So
all right, let's pivot. Each of you guys, I'm going to ask you like a question or two. I would love again to talk to you forever, but Coach Finger and I, we were filibustering.
Yeah. We were. Yeah, you get me going, but appreciate you, Barry.
All right,
thanks.
You bet. Thanks, Coach. Josiah Purnell. All right, so this is the other thing, because I know most of you guys, but I'm going to have you guys introduce yourself to the Whitney Young Dolphin audience.
How y'all doing? My name is Josiah Purnell. I'm a linebacker, class of 2026.
That's kind of fun to say you're a linebacker, right?
Yeah, I was just playing quarterback last year.
Yeah. So give me. I'm going to just throw this out. What are your goals for the year, both football and academically?
Well, academically, I'm really striving for straight A's. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get on the road this year because past years haven't been so great. And with football, I want to have like a legacy season. Like I want to leave this school like being known. Like people gonna remember me. That's the whole thing. I'm driving to be the best.
All right, I like that you're rocking 3.
Yeah.
We'll give a little shout out to Anthony Hood on that one.
Man, I looked up to him a lot when he was here, so I had to rock him when he left.
Yep, he's a goat. All right, Josiah.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you on the field, man.
Yes,
all right.
Sir.
All right, you got to do an introduction, even though I know who you are. Tell the people out there.
All right, nice to meet you. I'm Kendall Lionel, 42. I'm a senior.
Do you know that 42 was my high school football number?
I did not.
I know you didn't. When these guys were looking and they're like, "Oh, you got 42." I'm like, "That's a great number." So Kendall, the other thing, Coach Finger was talking about it earlier, and you guys voted for captains. I looked through the Google Doc, and there are a ton of guys that voted for you as well. And Coach Finger was talking about it's just the attitude that you bring every day. Tell us about that. I mean, you got a ton of special teams reps, right? You got some defensive reps. What does it mean for you to be a Whitney Young football player?
I guess just pushing these guys to be the best they can be, and pushing myself, and most importantly, playing family football.
All right, family. Tell us what family is.
Family, I guess, just staying with these guys, working to improve each other, not just in football, but in life, and to become young men, I guess, yeah.
Sounds good. All right, Kendall. Thanks, man.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you. Hey.
You Bennett Newman's dad?
I am Bennett Newman's dad. How are you?
Class with them.
Yeah. All right. So introduce yourself into the camera there. Oh, you want me to move over a little bit more? Okay.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Ejimakin. I'm a senior here. Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it. So you're 4 years with the program, right? Did you start as a freshman?
Yeah. I came here freshman year. Big hopes and dreams. It's been a great program.
All right. Tell me about senior year. What your expectations are for you on the field, but then also in the classroom.
All right, so I'm gonna start with the classroom first because I'm a student athlete first, right?
Yeah.
In the classroom, I'm taking some harder classes this year. I got like AP Calc and everything, and I really just want to lock in the whole year because how seniors, they really stop trying after second semester. I want to go the whole way through. And then get into athletics. I'm on the football team and the track team, and so I think I want to preserve myself just long as possible because I want to run track too. But also, I just got moved to a new position. I used to play safety and a receiver. I stopped playing receiver this year, and now I'm playing just outside linebacker. It's been great learning all the new schemes and everything, and I'm just having fun doing it all.
All right, awesome. Thanks, man.
Yeah, nice talking to you.
Good to see you.
Tell Bennett I said hi.
I will. All right. You might be watching. All right, come on over here.
What's up?
Yep, come on in. Do a quick introduction to the camera.
I'm Fabrizio Bell. I'm a senior here at Whitney Young.
All right, and Fabrizio, you've been part of the program for a while, right?
This is my second year.
Okay, all right. I've got I'm going to ask, I haven't asked any of these other guys, how's the college application process going?
I haven't really started. It's really tedious to just look at, but I mean, I got my essays and all that out the way, so.
Okay, well, that's the biggest part of it, right?
Yeah. Essays and test scores and GPA and all that. I got all that done now. I just got to get to submitting.
All right, so what you looking forward to on the field this year for Whitney Young?
I definitely want to get some interceptions in. Just make an impact, Yeah.
Yep. Any games that that stand out to you on the schedule?
Probably the Morgan Park game. Yeah, I feel like, that would be a great opportunity for all of our players to really get their name out there. So, yeah.
Yep, I think it'll be a big one. I think that a lot of people around the city are going to be paying attention to it.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Nice talking to you.
Good to talk to you. Where do I get these? The Dolphin chain, man. That's pretty impressive.
You gotta get these from Coach Finger.
Oh, really? Coach Finger gives them out?
Yeah.
All right, do an intro for the crowd.
What should I say? Just my name?
Yeah, exactly. Name, position.
Yoni, kicker.
Okay. You playing any offense or defense? You're just going to stay safely on the sidelines as a kicker?
Nah, I play corner too, but I'm mainly trying to get good at kicking.
Okay. So a guy like Solomon Bradley, did you watch what he was doing and try to replicate any of that?
Yeah, so obviously it's really big shoes to fill, so I'm going to try to do that to the best of my ability. He was like a mentor to me last year, taught me how to kick, really got me into this kicking stuff. So, yeah, I just want to do the best I can to make him proud.
All right, very good. I'm going to I got a good one here. What's it like playing for Coach Finger?
Amazing, really. Like, I played many different sports, had many different coaches, and I wouldn't put any of them on the same level as Coach Finger. I feel like the impact he's had on this team, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be like city champions at all. Like, he's really brought us to the next level. He's like passionate. He's like everything a coach is supposed to be and more. So I really respect that of him, and he's a great mentor, great person, great coach.
Dude, well said. All right. Very good. Thanks. All right. This guy, I'll even do the intro. It's Big John Spellers. How are you, man?
Good. How are you?
We were talking about. I was going to do the reveal on who was taking 0. Was that is that something that you were you had your eyes on?
Oh yeah, yep. I was actually surprised I got it. I thought Joe Gray wanted it, but I ended up having it.
We had the conversation with Joe about what he was thinking on that. So, John, you started off playing basketball here at Whitney Young, and then Coach Finger swiped you away from Coach Slaughter. And you just started making some plays on the field. What think about progression through like junior into senior year? How have things changed for you now as like a full-time football player?
Oh man, everything's changed. It's changed a lot. My first year playing, I was smaller, 195. I didn't have any technique. I didn't really know what was going on. I was just out there playing my hardest, trying my best. But this year, I so much more technique. I'm bigger now, 215, so I'm ready. Yeah.
And then tell us real quickly, you got some colleges that are interested that are talking to you. How is that going, and where does that go from here, do you think?
The whole process has been good. Pretty much, they said they want to see my senior season. So I have to come in and make an impact on the field, and that's what I plan to do this year.
All right, very good.
So,
and then I not to let but I've heard from some of the coaches there might be like John Spellers getting a couple offensive reps as well. True or not true?
Oh yeah, that could possibly be coming, but I'm not gonna lie. I've been slacking on the offense. So I gotta study the playbook tonight.
All right, well, we'll get that down, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the field.
Yep.
All right, John.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Do a quick intro to yourself there on the camera.
Alex Estrella, number 6, free safety, Whitney Young High School.
All right, I like it. Number 6. Yeah. There's some big shoes, man.
Yeah, Barry Gordon.
Yeah. And before that, Alex Dale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So tell us, what are you thinking about going into the year? What are some of the things that you want to accomplish both on the field, but then maybe more importantly in the classroom as a Whitney Young senior?
On the field, just trying to do whatever I can to help the team win, whether it be rotating at safety, playing on field goal, playing on kick return even. And on the academic side of things, just keeping my grades up. I had pretty good grades all the years, and then my test scores are already good, so yeah.
All right, test scores good. What are you thinking on the college front right now? Is it too early?
Got my mindset on Tufts University.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Tufts. I mean, they've got a football program.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Hey, great. Thanks a lot. All right, I'm just rolling through these guys here. How's it going? Do a quick introduction to yourself into the camera.
Okay, I'm Emiliano Bracho, and I'm a senior here at Whitney Young.
All right, Emiliano. Have you been with the program for a while?
3 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Feels pretty good.
I've got one of these questions here. I actually haven't asked it to a lot of the guys today, but it's like, if you had to tell your freshman self something, what kind of advice would you give your freshman self?
Well, that's a really good question. I think the main thing I'd say is just stay determined, stop procrastinating, just keep going with it and stay consistent. Like I don't know, there's some moments where I really wish I did that, of course, and I still try to do that, but I think it's a key part of success in football and in everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that you don't really know to start with. So you've been with the program 3 years. Tell us some of the guys in the program, either teammates of yours now or guys who have graduated who've been important to you, who've been role models that you've looked up to.
My sophomore year, a ton of the seniors, I came in not even touching a football. I have to shout out Baba, Harrison, Jason. They really helped me in everything, like how to be a lineman and how to play and just how to be on the team.
All right, very good. I'm glad that you brought up those names. We talked about some of those guys earlier today. Jason Perez playing at North Park, going to be a starting inside linebacker out there. Baba Nefesimi Obadele, favorite name to ever say here at Whitney Young. So, all right, man. Good luck on the field this year. Thank you. All right.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. The pads are off. Give a quick intro to yourself in the camera. Move over a look. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Devander Shoemaker. I'm a senior at Whitney Young, and I'm Big 14.
Big 14. I'm going to give that just so we could hear you a little bit better there. So, Devander, you've played about also a million special teams snaps, and you've made a bunch of plays. I think I actually have it written down here because I was at first surprised, but I'm like, man, you had a lot of. I thought I had your tackles down, but I mean, definitely a lot of tackles last year, and this year you're going to see some reps at cornerback as well.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm really excited for that. The last 3 years, I've really been perfecting my craft and just training and trying to be my best self. So I'm really looking forward to showing that on the field this year.
All right, very good. I'm going to throw a couple questions out. What would you tell someone, say an 8th grader, what would you tell them if they were considering playing football at Whitney Young?
I think that's one of the best decisions they can make. The lessons we learn and honestly just things you can carry on from football over to the rest of your life, I think that is one of the best experiences that you could ever do. Just in general with whether it be learning how to enjoy the process or just keeping your positivity and your focus and your effort, I love that about this program.
All right, well said.
Thank you.
Thank you, my man. Have a good season, Devander.
Right, you as well.
Do a quick intro on the camera.
All right. I'm Lee Dingfield. I'm a 4th-year senior, middle linebacker.
So, Lee, I'm going to tell you something that I remember from you as a freshman.
Oh, my gosh.
So it was out at Hope, the 7-on-7 before the season even started.
Right.
You were there. Your mom was there. You were about this tall.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. It's definitely been a growing process, both literally and figuratively.
So I'll say last year, you, and I can't remember what game it was in, you got in at the end, you made a couple big hits, and I remember you were way fired up. Were you number 46 last year?
No, I was 20.
20. Oh, you were 20 last year. Anyway, I remember going to my roster and being like, who just made that hit? And that dude is really fired up. And I'm like, Lee Dingfield. And I'm thinking about this Lee Dingfield. I'm like, there is no way. And then I saw you the next day in the weight room, coming out of the weight room, and it's like, hey, man, the Dinger, he's all ripped up now.
Yeah, no, it was a great play. I love getting in. It's definitely been a growing process. I haven't been, the guy who's getting called out on the loudspeaker a bunch, but, I love it here, and I appreciate every moment.
Yeah. So this year, probably some reps inside linebacker?
Absolutely, yeah. We have great guys at the inside linebacker spot right now, but, I'm just looking to see where I can, fit in and help.
All right, and let's talk about the classroom a little bit. What are you looking for senior year? How are you doing on the college application process?
It's been going strong. I'm looking at a couple colleges right now, but things are pushing along. Let's just say.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right, man. Well, we'll look next time you make a hit. You just look at us.
Right. Yeah. The Dinger did that.
It's all right.
All right.
All right. Cool, man. Thanks.
Thank you.
Rayton Scottmere. Oh, you're supposed to introduce yourself.
Oh.
I'm pretending that I don't know any of you guys.
Okay. So my name's Rayton Scottmere. This is my 4th year on the team, and I play middle linebacker and receiver.
Yeah. So receiver, I mean, all this stuff. So we talked a lot about the linebacking core, and there's such a strong history of that.
Yeah.
So you step into, next to Joseph Gray. Tell us a little bit. Joe talked a lot about it, like the chemistry that you guys have and how you play off of each other.
Yeah. All right. Well, starting back in freshman year, I remember he was kind of just thrown in there, as a freshman, and I mean, I guess he struggled a little bit, but he switched to linebacker from DB, and then you could see the growth. And then especially junior year when he slotted in to start, you could see how much he's grown as a player, and then how much he's taught me, and then all the other young linebackers as well. And then this year when I get to finally play next to him for all the snaps, we're communicating pre-play. We're almost always on the same page during practice, and that's really fun.
All right, and then on the offensive side, you're taking over that F position.
Yeah.
That's a good spot in this offense. What are you looking forward to there?
Well, big shoes to fill from Quinn Duham, but
I mean, his shoes weren't that big. He was just fast.
Yeah. I got to work on my speed. I feel like I'm a little slow sometimes, but I remember this one practice. Quinn was guarding me, and I was on the scout offense, and he was telling me I'm giving away what route I am based on my alignment and my body language, and that really put into perspective about how much I could grow and mold into a better player. And I think he was a really amazing role model and leader. And now it's my turn to try to be that guy and help the offense. Yeah.
All right, so those are good things. I'm going to throw a couple other things in here that are very, very, very important. Rayton, what's our expectations for the Green Bay Packers this year?
I think Matthew Golden's going to go off. I'm trying to trade for him in my fantasy league.
There we go.
We're Ben Miller. He's on Ben Miller's team, but he's not budging. So I'm going to have to get on him after that. But I think it's a pretty good team. The weaknesses, I'd say pass rush and the cornerback's a little iffy. And then the rest of the receivers, as long as they just don't drop the ball as much.
Yeah, there you go.
That, I think.
So Rayton and I are both Packers fans, if you can't tell. That's why I understand. And then my last question is, dude, your edits are sick. I saw the Giannis flicks, man. That's great. Where do you get that? What's that skill set? That's great. And can we throw out what do we follow you on, TikTok or?
Oh yeah, I got a TikTok editing page. I think it's Rayton2, I think. But I learned how to edit on Premiere Pro from Film and Video, the class here. And, on my feed, I often see a lot of edits of sports players and movies and TV shows of stuff that I liked. And I like how it goes with the music and everything. I was like, I might as well give it a shot. And then, it started. I started on CapCut, which is a mobile phone app, and then transferred over to the computer where it's more high quality, I guess. But I enjoy it. I was actually thinking about making a new one over the weekend, so stay tuned for that.
All right. So Rayton2, find it on TikTok. Rayton's he's gonna put together my clips for ESPN.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Awesome. Dylan Paracchini stepping up next. Oh, that's right. I'm moving this way because I'm creeping that way. You got to do an introduction of yourself into the camera.
My name is Dylan Paracchini. I play defensive line and offensive line. I play right tackle and nose guard.
All right. So, and you're. Oh yeah. So we're gonna get you a microphone in here. Make sure you speak up like you are on the field. I think you're really. Are you really quiet on the field?
Oh,
never really saying anything.
Not really. I'm just inside voice.
Okay, yeah, your inside voice. What we talked to a few of the other guys just about so last year on the offensive side, Nick Dale, Juan Cepeda. I mean, I remember going to practice and you and Cepeda were sort of inseparable. What did those guys mean to you as a football player?
Really, they're just just most of my closest friends on the team, and some of the reason I came to practice every day, and because I knew that if I was trying my best, they were trying their best too. And it's like I don't know. It's kind of like I've seen them every year in football, and then this year they're not going to be there, and it's kind of I don't know. It's kind of rough, but
yeah,
you know,
yep.
You got to keep going.
So that's offense. Defense, I know in talking to Coach O.D., he's extremely excited about the defensive line. And really the idea for you guys, I mean, we've had a really solid defensive line, but now with John Spellers, with MJ, with you, I mean, all really guys that can get after the quarterback, can really apply a lot of pressure. What are you thinking about on the defensive side of the ball coming into this year? And then I think last year, and I can't remember, you were honorable mention City, and I think on the defensive side, right? Was it defense or offense?
I believe it was defensive.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us about defense.
Well, I'm probably personally more excited for defense. I've always liked defense more of like going on the it sounds wrong because you're on the defensive, but you're kind of on the offensive.
Yeah, you are.
You're searching for the quarterback. And, I'm a lot more excited for defense. I think we'll be good because really we did lose, like, Nick and Juan, but we do have, at this point, really people that'll do the same thing as last year. Well, we can fill the gaps pretty easily. It's not the same. It's not kind of the same for offense. There's a little bit of a reduction there, but I think in defense we'll be probably better than we were last year.
All right, very good. I'll ask you one more question. What does it mean to you to be part of the Whitney Young program?
Family. It's very very tight-knit, I think. A lot of I've heard from other sports that it's not as they don't really do as much like close stuff, and they're not really like they don't care for each other the same way Dolphin football players care for each other. And I think Coach Finger is probably the reason at all. He's a very we call him a generational coach.
Yeah.
We say he's at least compared to the other coaches we've had in other sports, he's very very on top of it, very supportive. He's probably the best coach we'll go try to experience team sports with.
Yeah, I would agree with that entirely. I mean, I talked to him about how he's sort of like new school and old school all sort of wrapped together. So well said, Dylan. All right, man. We'll look forward to seeing you out on the field.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, I think we we'll roll you in here a little bit. So do a quick introduction to the camera.
All right. Hello. I'm Ayo Kunle Espinoza Allen.
So this is I had like I think forever I called you Iokunle Allen Espinoza, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
And I gotta flip them around. I don't know how I'm gonna do that.
But
But
it's just because of the school. They got it like mixed
oh, okay. So it wasn't really me.
No,
because I feel like it was in the program that way.
Yeah.
All right. So you've got it. You're gonna be the starting tight end this year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got a lot of playing time last year, both some tight end stuff, but also on the line. Tell us about, your approach coming into the season.
Into the season, I'm just trying to, like, focus on blocking first because that's ultimately, like, what's best for the team, what's best for the offense, just running the ball first, thinking about my teammates first, but then also receiving, catching the ball, all of that. But I'm really just trying to do what's best for the team.
Yeah, well, and that's good, and that's one of those positions. I mean, tight end's one of those things that, and we've had some good ones over the year, right? I mean, you're stepping in for Barry Gordon, who was all city. A couple of years before that, Alex Dale was all city at tight end. So there's an opportunity in the offense, but we were also talking to Coach Eddie, and he was saying the same sort of thing. I mean, you have the versatility because you've come from the offensive line to really be able to do that and do a lot of different things in the offense. How about on the defensive side? You're going to get some reps outside linebacker. Am I right on that? Okay. So you're excited about that?
Yeah, I am. That should be really fun. We got a really good group back there. Super energetic. Defensive days are always like super fun. Everyone's just super excited to hit and just run around. So yeah.
All right, very good. I'm going to throw you one question here and let you go. What advice would you give your freshman self, the freshman Ayo? What would you tell him now?
I'd just say keep going because that's how I am where I am today. Because like I had a lot of doubts my freshman year. I never played football. I was not sure if this is like what I wanted to do. and so it was scary. I wasn't like very good. I didn't know what I was doing, but ultimately putting in work every year and just improving and just sticking to it is what's helped me so much. So I'd say even more so, just keep putting in work, don't give up.
I think that's probably sage advice, even for the 22-year-old Io talking to the 18-year-old Io.
Yeah.
Pretty good stuff. All right, man. Thanks. We'll look forward to seeing you out on the field on Friday.
Thank you.
All right, cool.
How's it going?
All right, do a quick intro to the camera.
Logan Lopez, class of 2026, outside linebacker.
Yeah, all right. So, Logan, we saw a bit of you. I know that you were a multi-sport guy. You were a baseball guy. Now you're a football guy full time, right? Yeah. So what do we expect from you on that outside linebacker? Because you made some plays. I remember because I think did you join the team a little bit late, and we didn't have you on the roster, and you're out making plays, and we're like, who is that? And I'm like getting a call, and it's like, that's Logan Lopez. I'm like, who the heck is Logan Lopez? He's like, he's one of Luke Yolich's friends from baseball. Yeah. So tell us about your progression as a football player.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to expect to take a big jump this year. Last year was my first time playing tackle contact football. So I wasn't really – I knew how to run around and stuff, but I didn't really know the plays that well. I wasn't, too focused on game plan and stuff. But this year I'm a lot more prepared, and it's just going to be, flying around. I already know what to do, so –
Oh, that's great. And I'm really excited about this defense. And we were just talking to John Spellers and Dylan Pericini, and that defensive line, I think and it's been good. It's going to be really good this year, which is really going to give, I think, you guys as the outside linebackers some opportunity to, like you said, fly around.
Yeah, for sure. The D-line's looking really good. John, physical. This is also his second year playing. So got a lot more maturity in the game, and MJ, of course, always looking good. And it's going to give us linebackers a lot more opportunities to make tackles, make big plays.
Yeah. So then we'll switch it over to sort of being a student here at Whitney Young. What are you looking forward to as a senior on that regard?
I like some of the classes I'm taking, but I just my brother, he goes to the school now, so it's me, my brother, and my sister. So just seeing them in the hall is kind of cool.
All three? We got three Lopez's in the hallway? Yeah. Oh, and that's dangerous.
Yeah. So it's going to be, it's just nice to – I really like the school. Been here for 4 years now. So it's just cool to see how it changes.
All right, very good. And maybe just close it up. What's it like playing for Coach Finger?
It's great. I never Coach Finger is a once in a lifetime kind of coach, the organization and just his commitment to the players and to the program. It's just I've never seen it before.
Let's end it on that, man. Right. Logan, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you on the field on Friday.
Yep, for a win.
All right, any of you guys want to jump in? You want to talk? We got a couple more hours here. We can go and do it. All right.
Great job, Barry. What a fun afternoon.
Well, a lot of fun and just really good. And again, some of these guys that we know well, that we've called names out throughout the course of the last few years, but a lot of these other guys, it's definitely. There's always a bit of a changing of the guard, and I think Coach Finger touched on it a bit. I feel, again, we talked a lot about schedule. I think the schedule is something that, may you always look back on it differently, but I think it's a good schedule for this team. Get the first few games in there, which are going to be tough because you always, any of these white division teams, they will always throw a bunch of athletes at you. Usually you get them early in the year, and it's a little bit better just because they have a harder time putting the numbers on the field and putting everything else together. But excited about that, and then just kind of seeing these guys too. Definitely a lot of guys who have 16 to 17-year-old boys, they tend to grow.
No, it's nice to see them in person and get the face with the uniforms going before the season, and working on some nicknames. A new one popped up. 33, Iakunle Alan Espinoza, 33 baller. We're going 33 baller there. We got to work 12 gauge. Just disappoint. I mean, Vaughn, I love 5, but we need to figure out that for.
Some of these things just they marinate, they germinate.
We got some good starts to some nicknames. And Dinger, Lee Dinger.
Dinger,
he said he's cool with that.
Yeah. I mean, I saw it. I actually had a little. I saw the Google Doc, and so I think the Dinger is our guy there. So I want to thank everybody. Thank Tony McHale, the Godfather, for getting us on air today, and also all the way back. If you were watching 5 hours ago when we started, the highlight video was awesome from last year's season. That's something that Tony put together. And Jack, thanks for getting the organization around all this stuff. We're looking forward to another big year. We will be on air this coming Friday from Gately Stadium. I think we've got a 4:15 kickoff, 4:15 against Carver, and we'll get it rolling. So thanks again, Whitney Dolphin Football Nation.
Go Dolphins.
Go Dolphins.